You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
Tyler Abear. Ryan.
And we welcome you to episode 229 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
You can find us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us. Your Twitter.
We're also on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Yeah. I'm at WNS_Daniel. Tyler is at Tyler_Abear. Ryan is at King Scorpio 911.
11.
911.
This is 11.
Oh, 11. King Scorpio 11. Some really cool stuff. So welcome to the show. We're also being joined by our good buddy Curtis from Hurricane Pro.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Welcome back. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been too long, man.
I know.
Yeah, I need to be more of a regular, man.
Yeah, you got to get up in it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. jump up in it, right?
That's right. Jump around. Jump up and
jump,
get down.
Right?
So welcome to the show. Obviously, the main topic to talk about, everyone's discussing, that broke last week. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes passing away. If you really want to hear our full thoughts, make sure you listen to our sports radio show. You can download the app by searching Sports Radio Beaumont, or you can listen to it on Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. Central by going to sportsradiobeaumont.com. But we'll talk a little bit about it as well. I guess we'll start with you, Tyler. What were your thoughts when you heard the news breaking of the American Dream and Dusty Rhodes? Because I know Ben wanted us to focus mainly on it, and I made the mistake of talking about it on the radio show. But we'll talk about it on here as well.
It just felt unreal. I haven't really truly kept up with him. I know that he was doing stuff with NXT. I don't know if he has been recently. I know he currently, before he passed away, was he doing stuff with NXT?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He would make appearances on Raw, SmackDown, with his boys and all that stuff. And, it's just good to see him, but it's just, It was just a sad situation, and I didn't know he was in bad health, but he's in a better place, so.
Yeah. So, Ryan, how about you? What are your thoughts?
Man, like I said, it's a big shock. I mean, like I said, I was at work, man. I didn't believe it until, I had to go to the website itself and find out, it sucks to hear stuff like that, man. I mean, over the past few years, we lost a couple of good legends, and this is one definitely that's in everybody's heart no matter what, man, because Dusty Rhodes was the man. I mean, like you said, he's a common man, son of a plumber's. It just, everything he said was true. His character was him, and like, I just wish I could have met him,
Yeah.
He seemed like, no matter if he was a wrestler or a wrestler fan or whatever, like, he had knowledge all about life or about the business or about whatever it is, he could have.
Always seemed like he'd be willing to talk to you.
Right, yeah, just to give you some knowledge, just to be like, hey, this is life, this is how it is, he was straightforward.
Yeah, and I know, Curtis, you've been a wrestling fan for a long time, so what are your thoughts about the passing?
I was pretty, I guess, not going to say devastated. I was heartbroken because this business did lose a legend, a Hall of Famer in Dusty Rhodes. I remember Dusty as a kid growing up watching it. I didn't really... I remember him back in the polka dot days, but I went back as I got older and watched a lot of his older stuff, and that's where you really learn about Dusty. What you seen when he was in the polka dots, that really wasn't his gimmick.
Yeah.
But, like Ron was saying, he was what people can grab a hold of, and because he spoke on their level, he come from the ditches of, with his dad digging ditches as plumbing and everything like that. And so it was heartbreaking, and the wrestling world is definitely going to miss having good old Dusty Rhodes around. That's for sure.
Absolutely. It's one of those that often imitated, never duplicated kind of things.
That's right.
So this episode is definitely dedicated to...
No one better duplicate that.
No way. I mean, you can try as hard as you can, but it's never going to be the same. But this episode is dedicated to the memory of Dusty Rhodes. But we do have lots to talk about. We're going to talk about Money in the Bank, talk about Raw, a few other things. We'll just get in, have some discussions. We are going to talk a little bit about Money in the Bank that took place this past Sunday on the WWE Network. They had the kickoff match starting with R-Truth going up against King Barrett. So what were your thoughts on this kickoff match, Ryan?
I don't know. It was a kickoff match.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't expecting anything, anything big from him. I thought it was kind of fun, R-Truth and his antics,
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't take nothing from him. I mean, it was what it was.
The fact that they're still devaluing this King of the Ring title.
He should at least been in Money in the Bank, I mean.
Yeah. Or any, just at least give him the win. Have the King of the Ring have some prestige, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So,
He just wear a crown and
yeah,
have a scepter and
yeah,
a cape. That's about it.
Just like they did for King Sheamus, and
Yeah.
we saw how well that worked out for him. So, I don't know, Tyler, what were your thoughts on the matchup? I know there was this pay-per-view certainly had its highs and lows. There were good matches and there were passable matches. So I think there were 3 main matches that everyone is talking about, but I don't think this was one of them.
I didn't really care for this match. I mean, I kind of missed Truth in the light a little bit, but I guess I laugh at his goofiness at times. But I do like Barrett, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. And then there's just things about him that I just don't like. What they're doing with him, the direction, the elbow pad turning inside out, that is nothing.
See, I'm with you on that one, but now I'm sort of getting in the mindset of, okay, this is, the same symbolism of dropping the strap, like Jerry Lawler used to do. It's like, it's not going to do anything to the opponent, but it's symbolizing the end is coming.
But I feel that's a little different, though.
Yeah, especially when JBL is kind of like making it like it's a big deal. Like, oh, he's turned it around, so that means it's going to hurt more.
It's not like the loaded elbow pad.
Yeah. He's just turning it inside out, which is strange. So, I mean, overall thoughts, any thoughts on the matchup itself?
Nope.
Shocking that R-Truth got the win?
No, not really.
What are your thoughts on R-Truth, how they're presenting him lately?
How goofy and just stupid?
Yeah, because, back in, 2012, 2013, or somewhere around there, 2011 maybe.
I should say goofier than usual.
Yeah, he was goofy, but he was doing his whole conspiracy thing. Everyone's out to get him. Maybe I'm paranoid. But now it's just, I'm just going out there and being goofy or being very sillier than normal. So, I know they usually kept Santino Marella for that role, and it feels to me like they've sort of donned R-Truth the new, goofball. I mean, I hate to say it, because he's a really talented dude, but I don't know. Do either of you guys get that feeling?
Yeah, because he pretty much seems like he's the new jester. He just come out there and just play the part of be the fool.
Especially since he's coming out wearing the crown.
Yeah, right.
Using a plunger as a scepter.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is. I mean, R-Truth really never did have like a serious gimmick in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, though he's getting older up there now, but at the same time, it's like, maybe there's better things for him, but at least he's on TV. He's getting some type of screen time, but
I guess
it's making people laugh. I mean, it's not horribly bad or whatever. It's like I said, it's just, I didn't take them from the match itself. It was just okay. It's a cool little warm up.
Just something to get the crowd into it. And
it wasn't that bad. It was kind of had humorous little things to it, but at the same time, Barrett, I don't know. It's like it's dropping for him. I mean, it's okay for Truth because that's the role he's playing, but like you said,
it's like I don't know if he's just done something wrong to the people backstage.
Yeah.
But his Intercontinental run was a joke. His King of the Ring run is now becoming a joke. Like who did he take off?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. Next matchup, we're going to talk about the Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Sheamus, Neville, Orton, Kane, Reigns. Who else is in there? Kofi. And I feel like I'm forgetting one. That's 6. Who was the 7th? Cannot recall. Huh?
Was there 7?
Maybe. I want to say.
What'd you say?
Sheamus.
Okay.
Sheamus, Orton, Neville.
Okay.
Reigns, Kane, Kofi.
Oh, Ziggler.
And Ziggler. Thank you very much. Goodness. So 7 competitors in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Overall thoughts, I didn't think this was one of the greatest ones. I didn't think it was one of the better ones. I thought it was right there in the middle. Nothing too flashy.
I started being like a little kid, and I started to pout.
Yes,
and
you did.
Like, just kind of pitch a fit.
Yes, you did.
I was like saying, "Oh man, this is bull," and because I wanted Neville to win.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, we know Reigns is gonna win. Reigns is gonna win." But you know what? I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for Reigns this time. And then guess what? We got saved by Bray Wyatt, by Jeff. By Bray Wyatt, and and I was like, yes. And then he was like, everyone that was on the side right there, he's like, I don't see Sheamus. I was like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. And here comes Sheamus. I was like, no. He gets up there. I was like, there's Neville. I was like, yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then
I wish we would have been recording your reaction
he
because
gets
you were
up
like
there,
jumping up and
he
down.
gets up there. I was like, yeah. He has a chance. And Sheamus just grabs him by his hair and slowly pulling him off. I was like, no. Why don't you just like hit him in the eye? What are you gonna do? And he throws
Kick
him off.
him, punch him.
And after that, and I was like,
Talk about his mama.
Well, I threw in some curse words, but I said I'm done. I know Sheamus wins, even though I would prefer Sheamus over Reigns. That's just me.
Yeah.
But still, I want Neville to win, and I was like, Sheamus and Reigns are in the same boat. I want Neville.
Oh, well, unfortunately, it was not to happen. At least not this year. Maybe in future years. You never know. Ryan, what were your thoughts about this matchup?
I hate that it wasn't the first match. I mean, the whole gimmick is the Money in the Bank, and that's the first match, and it's the only match this year because there's no more two titles. So it's like basically you throwing your gimmick match at the first one or whatever.
Yep.
You know, it was like, damn, at least make it be the middle where it's like, okay, it builds up to it. It's like, all right, here we go. You know, I mean, I knew it was going to be the main event, but at the same time, the number one match is like.
Yeah, and in my eyes, like, Money in the Bank has sort of surpassed the Survivor Series as far as one of the big four.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see hardly any importance on the Survivor Series matches anymore.
They don't do that like the traditional Survivor Series. Maybe one match and that's it.
Yeah, they'll do, we have, 10 guys who just want to fight. Let's throw them together and see what happens. But there's no real big importance. I mean, they tried to do it last year with Cena, Team Cena versus Team Authority or whatever. But we saw how well that worked out for Ziggler. But yeah, to have a gimmick pay-per-view and to have one match based around that gimmick and have that match be the opening contest, just very strange to me. Like, I mean, they made up for it by having another ladder match later in the evening. Yeah. But if you're going to do, gimmicky pay-per-views, which this is the problem that I have with it, either do it in the mid-card, have it be third or fourth match on the card, or add another Money in the Bank ladder match. All right, this one's for the U.S. title, or this one's for the Intercontinental title. Like, why does it have to be strictly for?
I probably don't want to see it. I want for the Divas Championship.
No, although I would be interested to see if the Divas would be willing to take the bumps.
Yeah.
To fall off the ladder.
Yeah.
Like, who would really sell it?
Yeah. They'll probably lower the belt down, have a smaller ladder maybe or something.
Maybe. But the Money in the Bank ladder match this time around, like I said, it wasn't the greatest. There were a good couple of spots. Yeah. The power bomb for Kofi onto the ladder.
Yeah.
That did not look pleasant at all. The Neville spots, of course, the RKO to Neville
out of nowhere.
From out of nowhere, of course. It was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular that you got to watch this matchup. The outcome was a bit surprising since they've been building Reigns up to win this match. Yeah. And even during the kickoff, it was Ambrose and Reigns talking to one another, with him going, "Hey, if I win this match, are you going to cash in?" And Reigns is like, "You already know the answer, dude." And, ha ha ha.
The beers.
Fist bump.
No, that's a different time.
Yeah. So, Champ buys the beers. But, and they've done a fairly poor job of establishing Sheamus since his return.
Yeah.
I don't feel the monster heel. I feel like it's a different haircut and a bad attitude.
Yeah.
That's it. And he likes to know if fans are entertained.
Now, if he just got to demolishing guys like week after week and just showing, like,
Go back to the days of when he first debuted on ECW and like just demolishing, running through guys.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like that's the Sheamus that I enjoyed the most. But I mean, you're obviously not going to have that since he would have to do it to established guys, and you don't want to hurt them.
Right,
but you know, you'd have he would have to go up against you know, Fandango or Heath Slater or you know, someone who's not that big of a name to.
Well, maybe this win for him. Maybe it'll throw something for him. You know, maybe wherever he cash it in on something. You know, maybe it'll be like a, I don't know, maybe it'd be some gimmick or maybe I don't know, just something. Maybe it'll work out for him. I guess I'm trying to say, you know, in the long run.
I hope so, but
I'm gonna be completely honest. I watched the matches. I pay attention, but I didn't want to because I was ready for the Kevin Owens and John Cena match.
Yeah.
I was like, nothing's important except for this match.
That's
blah,
right.
blah, 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 blah.
That's right. So Sheamus surprisingly wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. So
Well, I did pay attention to that part because they reeled me in and I
they
bit.
did.
I was like,
you were biting
Neville,
hard on that too.
very, very.
You were getting ready
badly.
to jump up and down
I was
if
like,
Neville
ha,
won.
ha, ha, darn it.
Expletive.
Yeah, well,
Curses.
yeah, I said some other words.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Forget this show. So Sheamus ends up winning that. Next matchup, Nikki Bella going up against Paige for the Divas Championship. And to be honest, I lost focus in this
Yeah,
matchup.
I was watching a dog video.
yeah, yes, we were. That's what we were watching. We were watching a dog
That sounds bad. I'm sorry.
howling. Ah! So,
Oh my gosh.
you know,
I'm not professional at all.
no, none whatsoever. No professionalism here. But people were saying that the match was okay from what I gathered, from what I saw here and there. It seemed okay.
It didn't work out because they try to play the whole switcheroo thing again.
Right.
But here's the thing: even though the ref can't tell, they have their hair is dyed differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the other one has a bigger chest.
Yes,
So-
they have different features that are different, I guess you could say. But here's the thing: if you're going to allow Brie Bella to do the switcheroo and get the win, and I know she escapes very quickly out of the ring, so that the ref, I didn't see the switch or whatever. If you're going to allow that kind of stuff to happen, you have to have this kind of stuff happen where if she gets pinned, that's it. The ref didn't know.
Yeah.
For all he knew, it was Nikki, new champion. Yeah. But I get where they're going. They did the whole, I just tried to look like my sister by stuffing my bra with tissue and wearing her clothes. So the match.
How can you still? It's like their hair is different. I mean, they're not.
Well, it's one of those.
identical.
It's one of those, quick motions the ref didn't see. But
Whoa! I'm stop counting. Hey, your hair is not right.
Yeah.
So you are. Yeah, get out of here.
yeah, but I don't know. It's just I didn't like the finish of this matchup. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get Nikki to surpass AJ Lee as far as the length of title run. Mm-hmm. So
now they're doing the whole switcheroo pretty fast. It's like,
and they were faces 2 weeks ago, and now they're heels again. So
Paige is
like the lone face diva now, with the exception of Natalya, but they're not even having Natalya wrestle. So I don't know. Ryan, what were your thoughts on this matchup?
No big, nothing big came from it for me. I mean, I truthfully, I thought that the way she was hitting through all the promos, on Raw, that I thought she could do like her own Twitter match, have like another page looking like on the ring and try to do some type of switcheroo that way. But I don't know. I don't know what she's trying to get through over her promos. Like, come on, everybody, let's join up. Then let's take the Bellas down. It's like,
no,
everybody hates you and the Bellas. So it's like, they can be friends with them, or they're not friends with the Bellas and they're not friends with you. It's like, so I don't get like who's going to come on our team just to come, just to help.
I'll tell you who I want to be the champion. Naomi.
Oh, I was going to say Bailey.
Bailey,
hug it out. Well, I figured, okay.
I mean, I like Bailey,
Yeah?
but she's not on the main roster yet.
She can hug that title.
Hug it.
Yeah, hug it out. So Nikki somehow manages to retain her Divas title, which brings us to the next matchup that we're going to talk about, which we're probably going to talk about the match longer than the match actually took place. That is Big Show versus Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship. This match ended in a disqualification because Miz decided
The big guy is actually the littler guy in this match.
Yeah, he's the not as big guy. So Miz was on commentary during this, which that was annoying in itself. So the match ends in a disqualification. Miz decides to interfere. I mean, they started out strong enough. It looked like they were kind of wailing and banging and all that. But to have the match end within a few minutes is kind of sad.
To say they just put the, they trying to build Ryback as this dominant, powerful IC champion, and then didn't end the way, it's kind of like on a DQ. And
yeah,
like it started out good. They'll throw blow for blow. Then it's kind of what he said. So Miz, I'm tired of your face, and it's like threw somebody. How was he? He went to go punch him, didn't he? Or what was like the interference? Like, did he throw somebody, or did he throw Big Show onto him, or did Big Show throw right back onto him? I can't remember. It was something like that.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Or I'm getting something mixed up from Raw.
Yeah, well, I know they did. I know Miz got thrown into Ryback on Raw, and Ryback was like, "I got Miz on me," but I don't remember what exactly they did during the pay-per-view. But I know Miz went into the ring and hit Big Show and cost Ryback the match, and Ryback at least they made Ryback look like he was disappointed. Yeah. He was like, I didn't want the win to be like this. I wanted us to duke it out and find out who's the better man. Yeah. So at least they're establishing that he wants to be a fighting champion. He wants to, show people what he can do. But, people are interfering in his match. Nothing I can do about that. I didn't want it to happen.
Of course, Battleground could be a triple threat. I see that.
Of course.
I don't hate Ryback. I'm just not into him as much. I don't know. I just can't get into the guy. I think he
when he first came out and had like that strong.
When he was part of Nexus, and that's the only thing he did really was that powerful clothesline. But
yep, what it do?
I did like that, but I laughed at it every time he did that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Big Show wins via disqualification, but Ryback retains. So the next matchup we're going to talk about, more than likely in unison, or I guess we would all agree that this is the match of the night.
Yes.
That being John Cena versus Kevin Owens 2.
We came into this match thinking, like, how cool and awesome would it be if Kevin Owens beat Cena again?
Yeah.
I mean, that's unheard of, but, like, there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance.
They're giving this guy the ball, but it wasn't to be, but it was still a good match nonetheless.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Ryan, what did you think about this matchup?
I thought it was real good. I mean, I was more excited this than actually the Money in the Bank. Yeah, because this, the match that it's been putting on, or the last pay-per-view, and just the intense rivalry between them. It's been back and forth on Raw. I've been really enjoying that.
And, this you're always worried about second matches. Is it going to live up to the hype? Is it going to be better than the first? Or, are they just going to go through the motions like they, like in all honesty, I feel that the Undertaker Shawn Michaels second match from WrestleMania 26 was too copy and paste from their first match. I felt like, okay, we messed up on these couple spots, so we're going to try and fix that and show people what we were originally going for in this one. This Kevin Owens John Cena 2 match had a lot of the similar things that they did in the first one, but they also took it to another level.
Right. Plus, Cena did more moves. Different moves.
Yeah, he got more frustrated at the referee for counting 2. He pulled out new moves that we've never seen him do before.
The Canadian Destroyer, I'm damn near shit myself when I see that. Because when I just talk to somebody's like, "What's your favorite move?" Like, man, truthfully, the Canadian Destroyer, like that's one of the best moves you can ever see, man. It's like, so to see Cena do it's like, oh, really,
So really, I mean, Tyler, in your honest opinion, which was better, the first or second one?
I know this sounds weird. The only way it made it, the first one made it better because he won, and it was the shocking. But like, I still bit in this match.
Yeah.
You know, in the second one, there in the back of my head, I was still like, "Oh, Cena's gonna win," but I was like, "What if? What if?" And they did. You know,
It drew you in on that.
It still drew me in. You know, all that stuff and like all the moves Cena was doing, and hey, Owens can't put Cena away. Cena can't put Owens away. You know, and it's like that was really cool.
Yeah. Ryan, was this one better than the first?
I think so. You know, like this one, I think both of them kicked out of each other's move. You know, and like it was just, you know, the kind of back and forth, especially the ending. You know, I didn't know who was going to win. Like I didn't know who was coming out the victor. Man, it was just so back and forth. I just, you know, just on the edge and I see this like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You know. I
think it's definitely one of these compelling matches where the fans didn't know what side it was going to go on. A lot of people had in their minds, oh, you know, they've got to let Cena get his win back, you know, so that you can say, oh, well, let's have a rubber match. Let's do, you know, Cena Owens 3, which I am totally for because these guys have put on 2 incredible matches. I would have said that Cena Owens 1 was the match of the year, you know, just from the action in WWE alone. This one I feel surpassed it because it kept you on the edge of your seat. It, you know, we saw things that we didn't see in the first one. The ending, you know, a lot of people thought that Cena was going to get his win back. Yeah. He did. However, the ending of the match after the matchup left you wanting more.
Yeah.
So after the matchup, you know, Cena's up there wanting to shake his hand, saying, "Hey, you belong here." And Owens having none of that, saying, I know I belong here. Yeah. I've proven it that I belong here. And he really has.
They won.
Since the second he walked out through the curtain for that U.S. Open Challenge, he has proven that he is going to be one of the top guys in this business.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, kudos to the WWE for giving him the chance. Bravo for him for rising to the occasion for this kind of stuff. And we've always said for a long time, Cena is not a bad wrestler.
No.
It depends on who he's wrestling to bring him to that next level. Right. And Owens did an amazing job of bringing Cena up to that level. Like, you know, the Cena Shawn Michaels match after WrestleMania 23 a few years ago, the match with CM Punk, Money in the Bank 2011, the SummerSlam match with Daniel Bryan. You know, he has had amazing matches, and it's with these great talented guys, and now you can add the Kevin Owens one on that list. Like these two matches are going to be on the best of Cena. You know,
see him get destroyed by Brock Lesnar and come back ticket. You know, like,
the Extreme Rules match from 2012. That was a great one too. It's just it takes something to bring that extra special out of these competitors, and these two have that amazing chemistry where they work together to put on an amazing show for the fans. Get them chanting, "This is awesome!"
Yeah,
and that is exactly what this matchup was. It was indeed awesome.
So even after the match, like when the 1, 2, 3 happened, like when everybody knew Cena won, like the crowd was still excited, like.
Like,
Cena
won.
Yeah, like, you know, you hear like a lot of boos like you normally do if you win. Like the crowd was into it, like, damn, he won. Like,
and what's good is that, you know, for years we've been trying to say, okay, instead of chanting "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks," how about "Let's go Cena, let's go opponent"?
Yeah.
And on this one, for this match, I could hear it. It wasn't, you know, it was still a little mixed, but we heard "Let's go Cena, fight Owens, fight."
Yeah.
So that's what they needed to do, and that's what they brought out of it. And I hope, you know, we talked about this before we went on the air. I really hope that they push this matchup to SummerSlam. Yeah. That's what it deserves. It needs to be one of those knockdown, drag out,
right?
You know, fight to the bitter end kind of things. Like, don't put this on Battleground.
No, God, no.
Just hold off on that. Whatever you have to do. To whatever excuse you need to make for Cena. Oh, I got to take some time off. My leg's a little hurt because of the power bomb, or I got a stinger in my back. I need to take some time. Hold that off till SummerSlam. That's going to be a main draw.
Yeah.
So, will we see it? I certainly hope so, but we'll have to see. But John Cena ends up getting the victory. Really good stuff. I certainly enjoyed that matchup. The next matchup, we're going to talk about the Tag Team Championships. New Day going up against the Primetime Players. A little bit shocked of the outcome from this matchup. I was surprised. I was totally fine with it. Primetime Players getting the victory. What were your thoughts on it, Tyler?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it. I wanted them to win, but I went with a New Day. It was fine. I'm trying to remember everything.
It wasn't like the longest match. They definitely did the hot tag for Titus to come in and clean house and do all the good spots after that. But the match itself was solid. But the main story is that Primetime Players finally, after fans have been wanting it for so long,
they deserve it. I mean, I like them. I think they shouldn't have split them up. Well, I think we talked about it really didn't matter in that time period, even if they were together or not. I think that was a time period where tag teams weren't really. They had fallen apart. Yeah, too many tag teams in that time period. But oh well. But yeah, they're back and they have the titles and it's all good.
Yeah. So Primetime Players get the win. Ron, what were your thoughts on this matchup?
Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. I thought it was good, man. I've been waiting for them to win. Man, PTP, man, I've been liking since they first run, before the whole, they broke up. I mean, I like the tag team run. I actually like the New Day. I didn't think they were going to take the titles off them that quickly, and they sure enough took them off,
much longer, though.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing that role pretty good, They take them off them that quick,
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get a fairly good run for the tag team champs.
I was torn because I wanted them to have the titles a little bit longer, but I also wanted, Primetime Players to
didn't want to pass the opportunity up there.
But what can you do? I don't know.
Well, Primetime Players are your new tag team champions, which brings us into the final matchup for the WWE Championship, a ladder match no less. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. No J&J security, no Kane, no authority. Just two men duking it out. What were your thoughts, Ryan? What did you think about this matchup?
I actually like it. Them two have pretty good chemistry together. To say there was no outside interference, anything like that. Just them one-on-one. Finally seen that in a long time. Pretty good. The ending, I think that's how they should have ended. Like, I couldn't see one of them grabbing the title. I think they both had it, and then whoever just pretty much fall down with it could be the winner. And that's how I pretty much seen how it was going to happen because it just didn't. It's like I said, I didn't see somebody, just one person go up and grab the title like I did it because I don't see Ambrose like quitting at all, like this nonstop. I'm not quitting until you shoot a bullet into my head, some type of way.
Yeah, they sort of made him like a Terminator. It's like, I'm going to do my finisher. I'm going to throw you into the barricade, throw you into the other barricade, toss you on a ladder, and bury you with chairs. And oh wait, you're still getting up. So it's going to take everything to keep you down. I
really thought that was going to be it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I felt like the match was kind of drawn out. Like it was, if they had trimmed up maybe like 5 to 7 minutes off of that match, where there was just kind of a lull period. Yeah, I felt it would have been a lot stronger of a matchup, but they needed to fill time. Yeah, so I can't complain too much about it. But I enjoyed the matchup. I didn't think it was as great as Owens and Cena, but it definitely was a good knockdown and drag out brawl. But one of the things that kind of irritated me, and I talked to Tyler while we were watching this, is that there were points in the match where Rollins was trying to run away, and instead of going after the title, Ambrose went after Rollins. And I understand, that it's the logic. Oh, I gotta,
it's just
I gotta catch this guy. I gotta, But you gotta think with your head on stuff like that. But I know they had the outcomes already ready and everything. But Tyler, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I did enjoy it. I guess I don't have too much to say.
Yeah.
I was throughout this whole pay-per-view. I was in and out. I was out of everything, and then watched a cat video or a dog video, and then I watched over and over and over. Then hey, here comes Kevin Owens' match. I'm putting the dog video down.
Yeah,
and then okay, he's done. Then no, I'm just joking. I really don't remember too much from it. I know I watched it. Yeah, I know it sounds bad. That sounds horrible.
Well, Seth Rollins did end up getting the victory after both competitors climbed the ladder, grabbed the title, and fell down.
Yeah, well, that part, I thought, I was like, oh, no, yeah. And I know it looked like he had a chance of winning it, but it's like, oh, they're doing that on purpose. And I was like, oh, no, because I wanted Ambrose to get the title because I feel like he deserves it. And, like, I may not like Ambrose now as much as I liked him as John Moxley. I know it's different. You're in WWE and all that stuff, but I don't know. But this whole feud between them was so to me, and I was like, well, he always gets the shaft every match.
Yeah,
but it doesn't seem to lower him down at all, though. But I feel like he deserves a title for a little while.
Yeah, and I think he will. Maybe in the next year or two. I think they might finally give him that shot. But like you said, it's not hurting him when he takes these losses because
But he takes a lot of losses.
He
though.
does take a lot, but he was able to shine. He was able to show that he belongs in that upper tier. I think he is going to be one of those future top main event players. So yeah, I can definitely see him getting a title. It's just there's so much going on in the title picture. There's so many people there right now. You got your Lesnar's, Rollins, Cena, Orton. They're still up there, not wanting
Make
to
room for Reigns.
Yeah, they're they're not moving aside. I mean, I guess you could say that they are now since Cena's down in the mid card area with the U.S. title, but I don't know. I still feel it's cluttered in that main event picture, but who knows? But Seth Rollins still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So that's gonna do it as far as our take on Money in the Bank. So really cool stuff. Let's talk about Raw as we move on from Money in the Bank. We opened the show, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, or, forgive my manners. Curtis, are there any thoughts that you'd like to add to our Money in the Bank review?
The Money in the Bank, I thought it was an okay pay-per-view. The Kevin Owens Cena to me was probably the match of the night, with probably the main event coming in a close second. Like I said, the rest of the show I didn't really give two shits about, to be honest. I didn't care. I mean, to me, the whole Intercontinental title is just going by wayside. I don't buy the Raw back or Big Show or Miz. I can't stand neither one of them. Tag titles, I really didn't care. I'm not big on either team. So, other than that.
How about those divas?
The Divas.
The Divas!
Actually, I can't stand the Bellas at all. I don't really know what they're trying to do with this whole bringing back the Twin Magic gimmick deal or whatever. I feel bad for Paige because she has to carry them sorry sacks of shits. But, it is what it is. And hopefully, in the next few months or weeks or whatever, Paige will, get the upper hand on the Bellas. So
They'll have Brie handcuffed on the side of the...
Or hit by a train. I really don't care.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, a bit dark there.
Yeah, I don't really care.
You're wishing death on Dana Bryan's wife.
I can see where they're trying to go with the Divas division and they're having to do something because the women down in NXT are just killing it. So they have to kind of step up their game, and you're not going to do it with the Bellas. So you need to
I will say that
drop them off a cliff and then start over.
I will say that Nikki has at least improved her in-ring abilities.
She has improved, and I'm not that harsh, but yeah, she has improved on her in-ring. But I think a lot of that is due to Paige, because I think Paige is carrying those matches because Paige is a lot better women wrestler than Nikki or Bria. So I think a lot of that is due to Paige.
Yeah, I mean I can see that, but yeah, so not too bad. But yeah, let's talk about Raw. We kick things off. Seth Rollins. Well, I mean, we had the tribute to Dusty Rhodes before we do anything else, which was a really good. If it didn't hit you in the feels, then I don't know what kind of wrestling fan you are. But Seth Rollins coming out saying, "I'd like to thank no one but myself. Me, yay, me, I." Seth Rollins.
You made a funny joke. I thought it was funny, but it's probably stupid. It's like Seth Rollins, Tyler Black.
Yeah, that guy.
Seth Rollins. I know he wouldn't do that, but
that would have been pretty funny. It was like, I'd like to thank someone from my past, Mr. Tyler Black.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins. Really good stuff. So,
all your idiot fans, they'd have been like, who the hell's Tyler Black? All your smart marks have been like, oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
That would have just been a nice little nudge to them.
Right.
Hey, thanks for following me. But Dean Ambrose comes out, chases off Seth Rollins, saying, "I'm not going anywhere until I get my title shot or we finish this," and blah blah blah. So Sheamus decides to come out and fight, and I was so insanely distracted by this Raw due to the amount of commercials that I lost interest in the majority of Raw. Did y'all get that feeling that it was very commercial heavy?
Like the first thing was like
that's what pays the bills, man.
I mean, I get that. I understand.
They had the tribute to Dusty, and then Seth Rollins came to the ring, and then it was straight to commercial. And then
Yeah.
it came back. So
Yeah.
I mean, they always do that. I think it really hit me in the Kevin Owens Ziggler match.
Yeah, where they went to commercial
There's
twice.
Was it twice or 3 times?
Twice.
They went in
Wow.
twice, yeah.
Yeah. He, I mean,
It sucks when you're trying to pay attention to certain things, and then
Well-
they do that. I understand why they do it, but it's just how I feel.
The deal with like the way I look at it with like the you brought up with the commercials, the 2 break commercials with Ziggler and Owens. The way I look at it is like this match is going that long that they have to take the 2 commercials. So you probably got a good 15-minute match, but it don't look like that because they broke it down with the commercials.
yeah, so you're getting an 8-minute match.
Right,
and
but
missing
the
all
match
good.
to me, that's what kept me in tune was because of that. It's like, well, shit, they're going to a commercial. I'm gonna stay tuned and see what's gonna happen. And
Right.
oh god, it's still going, and they go to another commercial. So I always kind of how I judge. That's how I judge it. Most of the time, if it's just a regular commercial, it's like whatever. I'm not
Do
that
they
in tune.
still do the stuff where you can watch in between the commercials
Nope.
on the app?
They
don't do that
They
anymore?
stopped that 2 or 3 weeks ago, actually. So it's fairly recent that they've stopped doing the second screen.
Oh, they still have an app. I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's where you
I don't ever hear them say,
Well,
"Download the app and you can see what
Well,
happened."
Yeah, now since the network came out, they don't talk about the app.
Yeah,
I
Even though
got
they
you.
still have the app, I have it because you have to go through the app to watch WWE Network on the phone. So
Oh, I got you.
but yeah, I felt that this was very commercial heavy, and I understand they wanted to make time so that they could show a miniature concert, which was ridiculous. I mean, you can ask Tyler. I put the TV on mute. I pulled up the E3 live conference and started watching the PlayStation announcements, which they were showing Uncharted 4, which looks badass. So I don't know. This Raw was very in the middle for me. The first matchup saw Ambrose versus Sheamus. I'm glad that the match wasn't a decisive win because I can't really see it going either way as far as being a clean win. Ambrose got the win after Orton caused a distraction, which prompted the lovely, uncounterable roll-up of death, which WWE is so fond of. Curtis, you being a promoter, a booker, what are your thoughts on them using a roll-up for the finish so frequently?
I kind of get it in a way. I guess I look at the things different because when you do a move like that, like a schoolboy, a small package, a roll up, what that basically is entailing is okay, you're putting this person over, but they didn't. You have to use a finish because it really doesn't. There's no meaning to it. So you get the quick win, but you're telling the story that okay. The only reason he got this is because he was distracted by Randy Orton coming out.
Right.
So they do use it quite a bit. I think they could be a little bit more clever with it, but then again, I don't know who's all writing this and booking it or whatever, but they could have done a different way of having it. There's a lot of things like the whole count where everybody's now stays out till 9 and then all of a sudden they get this ultra boost of energy to jump in the ring right before 10. I cannot stand that.
Yeah.
That seems like that happens more than
Like
the
at
roll-up.
7, they're dead.
Yeah.
At 8, they're being eaten by a vulture. At 9, they're underground. They're being lowered into the ground. And 9.5, they jump back in and they're totally fine.
Right.
And, come on, man, I'm ready to go.
I'd rather the roll up than that crap, to be honest. So,
But it's the thing that I hate the most about what is featured in the roll up is the distraction, the fact that they're taking their focus. These are grown men, okay? Like I get it from a booking standpoint. Oh, he's got a feud with someone else, and that means he's coming out. But for you to stop what you're doing and walk over to the ropes to watch someone walk down towards you.
Yeah, I think that could have been set up a little different. I think they could have had actually, the match could be going between Sheamus and Ambrose. Not even have the music hit. Just have Orton come in. As Orton climbs up on the side of the ring, Sheamus turns around, goes after him.
Yeah.
Dean's there. He gets the roll up 1, 2, 3. You still get the same outcome, but that would have made a little bit more sense than music hit. Oh, look, here comes Randy Orton.
Yep.
My focus is now on this person, not this person. I just think it could have been a little different
I'm gonna
myself.
stop and stare at this guy who just came out.
Right.
Hey, I hear some music. What's going on over here? Oh, like
I think it'd been more of a shock value if Randy Orton would have just came out. The crowd would have got it. Of course, when the crowd hears it, they don't hear it. Supposedly, they don't.
You see
hear
the
it.
crowd stand up and look towards the entrance,
And
and,
then next
people are
you
like,
know-
"Hey, what's going on?" And oh my God, there's Randy Orton! And,
So
from out of nowhere.
like I said, I think they could have been done a little different, but they didn't do it that way.
And it's one of those things like that's sort of been a pet peeve of mine here lately as well. Whenever they do like a beatdown and they're ganging up on someone and the fans are chanting for someone, it's like, okay, let me wait for my music to hit before I come running out. Like that's starting to drive me insane. Like
Yeah.
I get it. They did it in the Attitude Era and it worked just fine.
But it's different eras. It's two different times.
Different eras at different times. A smarter crowd. They get what's going on, but it's just one of those, okay, I'm watching this guy backstage getting his ass beat. Instead of, coming out through the side entrance.
Right, instead of coming down the main.
And rushing the ring, I'm going to go through the curtain, go up, hey, hit my music, I'm going through, and play my music, and now I'm going to run out. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little too much. It's a little too cartoony for me to let it pass, but that's just me. But I don't know, whatever. Ambrose ends up getting the win. After that, we get a lovely 1-minute matchup with R-Truth and Wade Barrett, who didn't even know he was in the match because he came out wearing an aluminum foil on his head as a crown,
Plunger,
a bed
scepter.
sheet for a cape, and a plunger as a scepter. He's wanting to be king.
What up? I'm in this match.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
What's-
You didn't tell me nothing.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
And it's just, again, it was another match that ends in a roll-up, but whatever.
I kind of prefer R-Truth to beat Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just furthering the devaluation of the King of the Ring prestige.
Ring, Wade Barrett. It's
Remember
like-
when that meant something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it meant something, back in whenever they started it.
Macho Man days.
But yeah, it's
Macho
just,
King.
I'm not into Barrett really. I don't think I've ever got into that guy. The character himself. I'm not saying he's a bad worker. It's just I can't get into any of his gimmicks that they've tried to portray him as, and I think that's the problem.
I like his voice.
Yeah, he's got a cool accent, but other than that, I mean, I think the best thing that worked for him was when he was coming out giving people bad news.
Yeah.
And then they just
That started to get over, but he
Yeah.
was being a heel.
the
was like,
crowd
well,
was
yeah,
liking
that-
it, but yet he was still, getting the heel, he was talking in a heel way, and then it's like
Then he got injured and he had to step away for a while.
that dude's
which,
about injury prone as anybody,
Yeah.
about as worse as Mark Henry.
That's one of the things that I didn't get. Okay, he's injured, but he can still talk. Have him go out there,
Right.
keep the fans entertained, keep them loving this bad news gimmick.
yeah.
That's what I like about what was it? Rusev. Like he's still on crutches, but he's coming out.
Yeah, he's coming out.
Exactly.
Lana,
Exactly.
please, please love me.
Right.
Somebody love me. So, yeah, I mean, it's devalued. His Intercontinental run was a joke. His King of the Ring run is being a joke. I don't know what they're gonna do with this guy.
I don't think they know what to do with it. Really, that's
the
the problem.
He's a talented dude, but I don't
Doing
know.
it with him.
Yeah, I mean, even going back to the Nexus days, I was like, maybe he's got that look. He could be that championship material. But even then, I was still kind of iffy, and now I'm just like, I can't see it.
Dare them to lower R-Truth by putting him away. No, I'm just kidding. That was a stupid joke.
Poor R-Truth, man.
No, I've always had love for R-Truth.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy, and you can tell he's a company man. He's going out there wearing tinfoil and carrying around a plunger, for God's sakes. So I just don't know what to do. But after that, we got to see Kevin Owens come out, talk about his matchup with John Cena, the awesome matchup that it was. Yeah. Delivered another great promo. I love the fact that he issued the open challenge, and Dolph Ziggler came out to accept, and he's like, well, hang on a second. I didn't say anything about this being... Yeah, hold up, Blondie. I didn't say anything about this being for a title. So, I mean, you can fight me if you want, but you ain't going to be winning anything if you beat me. So, really good stuff. I wish we could have seen the whole match. I'm sure it would have been pretty good, although... you can, even whenever you're at the live events, you can kind of tell when they go to commercial, because they'll do that, throw them to the outside of the
Right.
ring, and they'll stay there for an 8 count and hop back in, and they'll battle a little bit, go to the outside and be slow, and then they'll start picking it back up once they come back. But, the crowd was definitely hot for this matchup. All the wrestling fans on Twitter were hot for this match.
Holy moly, that German suplex.
Yes. Just freaking launched Ziggler.
I mean, I thought it was a decent match. I thought it was going to be a little better, though, because I know how Dolph is a bump freak and stuff like that. But, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was definitely an enjoyable match. It was probably the match of the night. Yeah. They didn't have exactly a whole lot of stuff that could compete with it. But, Owens ends up getting the victory, defeating Dolph Ziggler. Anything to really else add from that? No? Your thoughts, Curtis?
The one thing I like about Owens and when he's on the mic is, to me, he reminds me of that guy that I don't give a shit. Like, I'm here, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You're not gonna tell me anything different, and that's just how I'm gonna be. And you can kind of tell that in his demeanor, the way he don't get all amped up like a Cena or a Rock or even Ziggler and all that. I mean, it's just like, yep.
Until you shut me up, I'm going to keep talking.
I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to do my thing, and nobody's going to stop me type deal. And that's what I think people – I don't know if people are picking up on that, but I think they're looking more at his match values when he had the 2 matches with Cena over that. I look at things a little different. I look at the whole picture. I like that whole I don't give a shit attitude. Like, fuck you, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and there's nothing you can do.
And what's making him such a great heel is that he's one of the few that will go out and say what he feels. Like, he's actually believing what he's saying.
Right.
And you don't get that too often anymore. Now it's just, I'm mad at you, and I'm going to hurt you, and ha ha ha. He's like, I took you out. I'm the one who did it, and you can thank me for it.
And I think a lot of that has to do with credit with Triple H behind the scenes. I think he has a lot of his hands on the Kevin Owens promos and the matches himself, because he knows what the guy could do. That's why he signed him. And he's like, okay, this is how I want you to be. And I think a lot of people need to give credit to Triple H on that, and know that this is what you're going to probably see in the next 5 to 10 years.
This is your next big guy.
When he's when he's running things when Vince is gone, because look what he's doing right now with just one guy. Can you imagine what he does with guys that else that come? Yeah, and especially NXT. And I think that has a lot to do with it, because NXT was getting so much momentum because of all these great matches with these guys that WWE was like, the main roster was like, holy shit, we got to do something. How are we going to do this?
We got to step our game up.
Yeah,
or we're losing our spot.
And now everybody's having to step their game up and compete with your development system. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
When the minor leagues are outshining your majors, it's definitely saying something. And these guys are going out and putting on a show.
Oh, they're putting on a great show. I mean, that's
even the lower guys are getting over with the crowd, which tells you something. They've got something special over in NXT.
Yeah, that place is just that right there is worth getting the network just to watch NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a fan of wrestling and you keep hearing all this talk about it, get the network and watch it. That's what it's about. You'll see what you're seeing in Kevin Owens on Raw is what you've seen in NXT when he first came.
Yeah. And what's really cracking me up about, obviously it's cliche to say you can't please all the people all the time, and there are obviously going to be fans that are never going to give up on John Cena. There's obviously those fans who don't like Kevin Owens. What is cracking me up is the people who are bashing Kevin Owens for his size. They're like, oh, he's pudgy, he's fat, blah, blah, blah. Like, people have been saying about this about him for his entire career.
Right, yeah.
And, it's the same people who are going out every week going, I'm sick and tired of these cookie cutter, Vince McMahon placed guys being on the top dudes. Here you go. Here's
somebody
the guy.
Totally off the grid that you would never. But look what the guy could do. I mean, I don't know how long the match was at the on the pay-per-view. I'm gonna say at least 15-minute match, and
Dude's doing swantons.
This guy is so. How many guys you see that is what I'm gonna say 275, close to 300 pounds? I could be way off on that on Kevin Owens' weight. Climbing the rope, doing a springboard moonsault.
Yeah.
You don't see that. You ain't seen a big guy do a moonsault since Vader. That's,
Vader.
You know, so that guy is so agile as for a big guy that I think that's what people are gonna realize. Like, maybe you don't have to be muscle bound and have that typical look like everybody thinks you should have, because you can look what this guy's doing.
Yeah. And, it's definitely outside the norm of what we normally see in the WWE.
Right, yeah.
He's established his promo career, obviously, over the years. His in-ring ability is top-notch. So he is definitely going to be one of those top heels to be looking at, for those who aren't aware that NXT exists. And I know that there are people that aren't aware that NXT exists because I posted a picture of Finn Balor, who's going to be in the next WWE video game, and people were saying, "Who's this guy? Who is this? Like, are you
need to
kidding
get out
me?"
of the Rock and get into the real world.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, they're sitting there going, "Who is this guy? He looks like a knockoff of Jeff Hardy."
Oh,
I'm like, are you kidding me?
No.
Even in Jeff Hardy's prime, Finn Balor can outwork Jeff Hardy.
So that's another guy that I'm looking forward to come up on the main roster, and I hope he keeps what he's doing in NXT similar to whenever he comes out on the main roster, where he comes out normally in the
he only does
main,
the paint when it's the big show.
Make it special, make it big,
right. Yeah.
I'm hoping,
and he adds to it every time. And I don't know if y'all have noticed it over the last few ones.
The first one was just normal, and then the second one he had wings, and he had the giant eye in the bag. That was awesome.
I don't know who paints for that guy, but that dude, whoever's doing his painting is the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know Undertaker helps him out, like on his entrance. Like Undertaker helps him on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty cool to learn that, man. Like,
damn, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I'm like looking so much forward, like the next 2 years, because we're gonna get Zayn, we have Owens, we're gonna get Hideo, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I mean,
I think
out of all the ones, he's the one I think we're most worried about.
I think it'll be okay. I think it's just I was reading a story why a lot of these guys might be getting injured is because they've been on the road, working the circuit for 10, 12, 15 years before they even get this call, and then their body is just so beat up that it just happens that it just happened to happen like this. I think that's the
Poor
case.
timing.
I think that's the case with Daniel Bryan as well. I think his injury isn't due to the fact of his time in WWE. I think it was everything prior to that and then especially when you start getting in on the main roster, you're working 300 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to have a downtime for your body to heal.
And when you didn't take the time off to get those surgeries in the past because that was your life. That was your life. If you didn't make that money, you were sleeping in your car instead of a hotel. It's tough doing that independent circuit. Then you finally get your big break, and you're like, yes, and then you get a big break in your body, and you're like, crap,
Well, I wish him to come back and everything, Daniel Bryan, but I would say even if he had to go out, WWE will take care of him.
Oh yeah,
most definitely.
I mean, they've already got him doing the Tough Enough deal.
He's gonna be on Tough Enough.
I'm sure if he were forced to retire,
they're gonna promote his book too, I would think.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
most definitely.
And they'll probably, if anything, they would send him down to NXT and have people train with him.
Oh, that'd be swell.
Yeah. So, I mean, just so much talent to look forward to. And, like we were talking earlier before the show about Enzo and Cass, big Cass. Like, they aren't the most amazing technicians in the ring, but they are just like oozing that charisma. They've got the catchphrases, they got the gimmick down to a T. These guys are going to be fun to watch in the next few years whenever they get called up. And the fact that Cass is 7 feet tall, Vince is going to love that.
Yeah, and then you got Enzo that's like 4 foot tall. It just makes it look different. And
he's a little chihuahua barking, and you got the giant pit bull behind him just staring you down.
Come on, Spike. What are we going to do, Spike?
Yeah. Shut up,
Yeah.
You got Carmella, who's hot as hell. And and you can't apparently teach that. So
you can't teach that.
You can't. No, you just can't teach looks. So, I mean, it's
the next few years. I think now really, we had the Attitude Era, and then once WCW was bought out, and then you really didn't have any competition, and there's really no competition that can hold up to it. It just got stale.
Yeah.
But now I think it's the time to be a really fun to be a good wrestling
get back
fan,
into
to get
it.
back into it, because these next couple of years you're starting to see a swing of roster guys, new guys coming in like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn,
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Didn't even talk about
WWE
him.
now. So you're starting to see a shift, and I think when you see it, it's gonna be more exciting.
Yeah. Because these guys are going to be allowed to do more of
They're
what
going to
they
be, because Triple H is
do.
going to be like, let these guys go out, do their thing, and I promise you that you're not going to be disappointed. And that's what you're getting.
And that's one of the things that I think got stale about the WWE product is like they all develop their routines and here's my signature. Yeah, it's like
okay, we know Cena's going to come out and he's going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Same yada yada.
You could call the match before it even happens.
Exactly.
And then he's going to duck and he's going to do a clothesline and then he's going to pop out at 2.
Well,
and
everyone has their sets and everything.
They do, but now with the fresh new talent, you're going to see fresh feuds, fresh everything.
Yeah.
And
new faces.
And hopefully Triple H will start getting some more of that power where he can say, let's get these guys doing what we hired them for.
Exactly.
Let them go out and shine.
One of the big reasons why I watch Raw right now is because of Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know that sucks. I mean, that's good, but it sucks just for those one guys. I mean, there's other people I do like.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like. I mean, we're not doing too much with them. I do like Cesaro and Kid.
Yeah.
New
Unfortunately,
Day.
Kid's out on injury.
Oh yeah,
right
he's
now.
out. Yeah,
just
when
that's like too, because I was like, I love Kid and I like Cesaro, and it's like as soon as that momentum started to go their way with the fans, Kid gets hurt, and now what are you gonna do with Cesaro?
Yep.
I
haven't seen him since.
I think they screwed up with him when they had the chance, when he first got in that elimination, when he was having those matches with Cena and Orton, and you thought, okay, they're fixing to do something with this guy.
Every time they would put him out there for a feeler.
Something against this guy. I don't know what it is, but it just pisses me the fuck off.
He doesn't understand him. That's what it is.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, well, he's Swiss. I don't
He's
get
like
it.
the strongest guy they have.
And he's like, well, we can't be Superman. We got Cena for that, so we got to give him something else. So, but yeah, I mean,
what they need to do is, it would be kind of cool if turn him face, and then when Owens gets the United States belt, have a little feud.
That'd be good.
That would be good because those guys have worked each other back in ROH days. So I think you'd see some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I hate to say it because I know a lot of fans would love for him to still be there, but what a poor time for CM Punk to leave.
Oh yeah.
Like now they're getting all the guys that he wanted to go up against. Yeah. And the fans wanted to see it, and it's like, oh, if you would have just waited a little longer.
I'm not going to really point the blame on anybody on that deal, but
I mean, he did what he felt he needed to do.
He felt like what he needed to do. I think he could have did a different approach, like, hey, give me some time off.
Let me come back in 6 months.
6 months, a year, whatever it may be, and let me get my body rested. No, they wanted to, of course, they just gave him some bullshit. Guys,
here's the Z-Pack.
And, so... Yeah, I think that would have been cool to see CM Punk working guys like Kevin Owens or a lot of these guys, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and those guys, because, like I said, now is really a fun time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure,
not just a WWE fan. I mean,
it's wrestling in general.
Yeah, you got Ring of Honor, you got Lucha Underground, who's tearing it up on El Rey.
It is blooming.
I mean, they're not getting the ratings that I'm sure the El Rey network would like.
Well, it's because nobody has fucking El Rey Network.
That's true.
I mean, if they were on like Destination America, that might be a little different story.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Or even if I know Spike doesn't want to do another wrestling show, but if Spike were to pick up Lucha, I guarantee you ratings would go up.
Oh yeah,
they'd be beating TNA.
Easy.
Maybe. Give them a couple weeks, maybe more.
I was gonna say
people catch up on the story at first.
It's like we'll get more into Lucha and stuff a little later because we're still we're kind of getting away from.
I don't care about Raw now. We're just having a good discussion right now.
That's true. I didn't know if
this is a different feel for the podcast this week.
We're going away from Raw. The only thing we're going to talk about is Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
that's true. It's the Kevin Owens show.
Yeah, the Kevin Owens show. So get him a nice little jingle. But yeah, I mean, like Lucha Underground, they're absolutely they're tearing it up. I'm loving the action that they're doing. The storylines are great. It's got that good pulp feel.
Yeah, it's very dark.
For sure.
It's a little different.
It's a little cheesy, a little hokey.
It does get a little hokey and cheesy, but
it works.
It works, and it fits. It really that format fits that station. I mean, if you ever watch anything else on that station, it's Enter the Dragons. I mean, it's always the old school movies where the Japanese guys talk, and then 2 seconds later you hear the voice. So I mean, it fits that station. But I had the opportunity to watch it a few weeks ago, and I was like, I was digging it because it's something totally different. And if you're a fan of wrestling, you can't look at it like, oh, this sucks. This ain't like WWE.
Where's the pyro?
That's the whole purpose. It looks like it's shot in an abandoned warehouse, like it's Fight Club feel. I mean, that's how it is.
Underground.
Yeah, and I like it. I like the whole atmosphere. I think they got a really great roster there. The only thing I really hate about Lucha Underground is Matt Striker and Vampiro.
I think Vampiro is probably my most on-off feeling.
I do not like that combo at all.
It's like he'll say something and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is a dumbass. And then he'll switch. He'll do a 180.
Matt Striker has to make up for the stuff he says and kind of explain some of the things he says and stuff and like let it go or whatever. But
it's like 2 weeks ago he got involved in the main event match with Sexy Star. Like he jumped into the ring to Vampiro, that is, hopped in the ring to stop. Who was it? Pentagon Jr. Who is he? The one who breaks the arms?
Yeah.
Okay. That was just his past.
No, that was the previous week. That wasn't this past week.
That's the one I watched.
He hopped in the ring to push Pentagon Jr. out of the way and was like, no, you're not going to break her arm or anything like that. And so this past week, he started the show. Matt Striker's all excited. Welcome to Lucha Underground. Hey, we appreciate you tuning in. And Vampiro just like slaps his hand on Matt Striker's chest. It's like, dude, I just want to apologize. I let my feelings get out of hand. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have hopped in the ring. I should stay right where I am and be unbiased.
Well, they did that thing where he smashed his head against that mirror for no reason. Like after he did it, the match, they went to a scene in the back, and he's like looking at the mirror, and he kept on hitting his head.
Stop looking at me. Yeah, but I mean, it's just I don't know. I'm 50-50 on Vampiro. Sometimes I'm like, dude, this guy is hilarious, and other times I'm like, dude, this guy's an idiot.
He's an idiot most of the time, but I allow it. I'm like, okay, I prefer this over JBL.
To me, the funniest thing is when he cracks on Conan, like. He'll be that biased commentator, like, okay, I'm gonna call it down the line, but as soon as Conan, that dude's a piece of shit.
Oh, he hates Conan.
He'll steal from you.
He really hates Conan, though.
I think they really do have a hate relationship.
Like I'm curious
like
as
if
to
JR was there calling it with anybody, I think it'd be a lot better. But
yeah,
I know it's
calling anything
different, but I still I know it's bad. I still prefer Vampiro over JBL.
You're fucking crazy.
I'll second that.
How in the hell is that even possible?
I fucking hate JBL.
JBL is great. He puts over everything.
Oh, no, he does not. No, he does not. He puts himself over.
He will put over.
Listen here, Maggle.
I mean, just like, like, it probably killed him, but, the Miz is out there, and he's cutting heels, and he's putting him over like he's the greatest thing that walked the earth, and I'm thinking, this guy hates the Miz, but he has to do that. He puts over, and he'll bring up shit that from the past, like, oh yeah, I remember when he, worked so and so, blah 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 blah. I like Book and JBL and Cole I think are great. I like that trio right there. A lot better than that stupid Byron Saxon dude, and that Todd Phillips guy, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Is that Corey?
Who?
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves.
Oh no, I don't like Corey Graves either. The only guy I like in NXT is Rich Brandon, and that's just because he worked for Booker, and that's where he got to start.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bring Rich in to call SmackDown.
The reason why I say that about Vampiro because it's goofy and I like stuff like that. But I know JBL, I feel like he just shits on everything.
Well, I think like when the whole Ascension thing was there and he was shitting on him and stuff, like I thought that was funny because it's like, well, I kind of see his point. Like, these guys are trying to do something, and he's like, who are you to come in here and try to be somebody you're not? But that's the thing. He puts over a lot of guys, just like the whole deal with, when Dean Ambrose, had the title up until the Money in the Bank, he's like, this guy's a common criminal. He should be locked up. I mean, he just made it seem like, okay, he is all about Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is right, and what Dean Ambrose is doing is wrong. And he helps – commentators have a big job, and that's helps sell whatever that storyline is. And I think JBL does a great job.
Well, what was it where it was a pay-per-view or last Raw where he shit on a heel
Kevin
on certain
Owens.
things. It was Kevin Owens, but then
It was
he
from,
didn't
Money in
shit
the Bank.
on Seth Rollins.
But he shit on Kevin Owens for the actions after the match, but then he flipped the script and he's like, oh, I understand why he did what he did. So now it was like, at the time he shit on him for, giving him the powerbomb on the side of the ring. But then after Kevin Owens explained himself, he's like, oh, I see his point. I don't blame him. He don't need to tell you. Look what he's done. He beat a 15-time world champion. So, yeah, I see where he's coming from. So I'm not going to say he shit on him. I think at the time that's what he was supposed to do. But I think he covered it up when he was like, oh, I get it now. I see why he did what he did. He don't need nobody's approval. Look who he is. Look what he's done so far since he's been here. That deal.
I just still I can't get behind JBL. He just banters for too much.
I
for
mean,
too long. It's
I loved
distracting
him
from the matchup. Like I feel like it doesn't enhance the matchup; it takes away. It's more like listen to me and listen to what I'm saying.
And when him and Book get into it, that's the funniest shit ever right there.
I like it. What do you think, Booger? Booger. Booger Team Michael Cole.
Like we had all kinds of scraps in the past. Yeah,
I mean, I loved him when he was in the ring. He was like the most hated heel ever.
Yes.
Causing riots. That's what he was all about. I don't know. It's just I don't know if it's just his delivery or what. I just can't get behind JBL.
Well, also, they've done a lot of times. Michael Cole and JBL. I don't know if they've done it recently, but they'll talk about stuff about themselves, and then they won't pay attention to the match.
Yeah, I don't think that I haven't really heard the whole lot of that here lately, but I know I do know what you're talking about. They're like just kind of ramble on about. Oh yeah, I
Like
brought my dog to the groomer today, and
cracking jokes and all
Right.
that. And like, I get that the crowd isn't into the match. The match isn't that good, but don't take away from the match even further.
well, when you got somebody in your ear telling you what to say, what are you gonna do? You can't cross the balls.
I guess. So, like, okay, if he's gonna go out there, if he's gonna be in their ear and say, "Hey, just shit all over this match," why are you even putting this match on?
That's because the crowd ain't into it, and he's like, okay, just shit on it, and then we'll be done with it.
Well, if you think about it, it's probably smart. You know how like the fans like to take over the show sometimes? Let the commentators just shit on it for,
I don't know.
But the thing is, the crowd don't hear the commentators, so
Yeah.
So that's for the people at home. I don't know.
That's what.
Hey, this show is bad. Stop listening.
We knew that you were at a show one time, and you did try to hijack the show. So guess what? This is for you.
This is for the time you tried to chant, "We are awesome." So, I don't know. Where were we? Oh, yeah, Raw. So, Kane defeats Randy Orton. Hey, let's talk about NXT.
Yawn. I just think Kane needs to stop. I mean, yes, I mean he's still in great shape for probably. I mean, say he's close to 50 or around 50
Somewhere
or
around
50.
there.
But I think it's like, okay, all these guys are like, oh, look at you, you used to be Hellfire and Brimstone and the devil's favorite demon, blah blah blah, and it's like the guys are cracking on you because you're playing this different character. It's like, if you're gonna be director of operations, stay the fuck out of the ring. Just be director of operations. Be basically a general manager type role and just stay out of it.
He's 48.
Doug likes 48.
Yeah.
Wow.
48
Doug
years old.
loves him being in the main event scene and on TV.
Doug's full of shit. Then
No, he hates it. He hates
I love you,
it.
Doug.
Interesting fact about Kane, he was actually born in Madrid, Spain. Did not know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about all that.
I remember Kane when he was Glenn Jacobs, DDS.
That's Isaac Yankem.
All right, yeah, I was with Isaac Yankem. Yeah. Sorry.
Who's Glenn Jacobs?
You know that other guy.
Yeah, he was that one guy. He's got 2 kids. Wow.
His daughter's pretty hot. I seen a picture a while back. I ain't gonna lie.
He's been known as Angus King, Bruiser Mastino, Christmas Creature,
They should bring that back.
Fake Diesel,
Oh yeah, I remember him as Fake Diesel.
Doomsday, Isaac Yankem, Kane, Mike Unabomb, and Unabomb. Wow, that's great. Trained by Dean Malenko. Interesting.
Oh wow,
Good stuff. I mean, he's still in
I mean,
good
like
shape.
I said, he's in great shape. I just think like
It's
you know,
time.
It's time for him to like okay, you know.
Let it go.
I mean,
He's done everything he
he's
can do. Really.
he's he's been champion on several occasions, tag champion.
Brought the mask back. He
They
was
brought it
the
back.
monster,
They should
took
have.
away.
I hate they should have just really kept it on him, but whatever.
he couldn't breathe in that thing.
Well, he could have changed it up like he does now.
Yeah, that's why they did the
half.
they
the-
keep the nose and,
Right.
and mouth open. I couldn't imagine doing a match like that.
No.
where it was just that little slit
Yeah.
in the nose. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that had to have been
be it.
torture.
But I mean, they've like how many times he's been recreated and look where he's at now. So he's a company man, and
He'll go in the Hall of Fame.
he'll be definitely a Hall of Famer for sure. And I mean, like I said, he's had a great career. It's just I think it's time, really.
Someone tweeted at me during Raw asking me if I thought Sheamus would be a Hall of Famer. I said, if you give him a solid heel championship run, over the
Right.
course of the next 2 or 3 years, you give him maybe 1 or 2 more title reigns, I'll say yeah. But at this current moment, nah.
I like Sheamus more as a heel than I did a face.
Absolutely.
But I don't know who came up and said, okay, you're gonna come back as a heel, and we want you to put these anal bead looking things in your beard, and we want
He's
you to
going
have
for
a
that whole
mohawk.
Viking look, I'm thinking.
Well, he's Irish. There's
Irish
from the
warrior,
show
Celtic
Vikings.
warrior. And,
but I'm not digging the mohawk, and then I liked him when he was a heel before, and I think that's how they should have kept it. But
yeah, his devastating heel run in ECW and just
I like
taking
that
people out.
more than this. I like the new entrance that he has. I think that's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
the old look just needs to disappear.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, back to Raw. Kane does end up defeating Orton after some help from Sheamus because Kane decided to make it a no-holds-barred match, which
They always do that too.
since you're a booker, promoter, all that good stuff, you have a close relationship with a jackass named Richard Cranium. What, in your opinion, should the WWE just get rid of all the technical names for these stipulations? Falls count anywhere, well, with the exception of that one because a pinfall can actually occur outside of the ring.
Right.
Okay. Street fight, no disqualifications,
It's all the same.
no holds barred.
Yeah, it's all the same.
All the same shit. Just give it one name
yeah.
instead, and you have that. Because no holds barred originally meant a move that was banned that you can now use.
Right. I mean, a street fight, you're not in a street fight and you're in an arena.
You just come out in jeans.
Half the time they just come out in gear, and I think like that's kind of dumb,
They like to do those at the house shows. They'll name the city name and
Right.
Chicago street fight, Boston street fight,
I
Beaumont
just-
street fight.
I just think it's dumb because, like I said, back then when you had a no holds barred or a street fight, it actually meant something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see them things. We're going to let the people vote on what his match it is. It's like street fight, no holds barred, or no DQ. And
It's all the same anyways.
Yeah.
So it's really stupid. Like, that's the one thing I hate about WWE is they've really killed a lot of the gimmicky matches
Mm-hmm.
like that, and now it's just like
It's like
Okay.
for some of these matches, there should still be disqualifications. Like the no holds barred.
Right.
If you use a weapon, shouldn't that be considered a disqualification?
exactly, yeah.
And it's just,
They just kind of do their own thing, and
Yeah.
people are like, oh, okay, I get it.
oh, it's perfect. Works out well.
I guess kids don't know the difference.
Nah, they don't. They'll figure it out when they're
30.
13, yeah. Something like that, eventually. So after that, we got to see Miz defeating Big Show via countout after Big Show threw Miz into Sheamus and,
That was the one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
yeah, getting all up in my face. I got Miz on me. Oh,
Feed me s'mores.
s'mores and whores and other shores.
I'll take the whores for sure. Feed them to me. I mean, shit, I ain't gonna complain.
I'm going to the
there.
beach. Feed me shores.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make it
I
rhyme.
just I was shocked that they even put the title on Ryback to begin with.
It's
like,
the big guy.
I've never seen that coming. Like I figured
Yeah.
Sheamus for sure was gonna get it. At least that would be a little bit more believable. But
They had other plans for him for Mr. Money in the Bank.
I didn't see the Ryback. I mean, hell, put it on Neville for goodn's sake.
Yeah.
I don't care anybody but Ryback.
It's his first title.
Who
So-
cares?
Well,
There's a lot of people that never going to get title matches.
He's getting over with the crowd. He came out and shared his little sob story, and the crowd was into
Oh,
it.
that's right.
and-
I didn't shed a tear on that one.
Oh,
Feed him Cracker Barrel.
that's right. Hey, you guys got a Cracker Barrel around here? So, okay, here's a good question. Sheamus is Mr. Money in the Bank. How long do y'all think he holds on to it, and is he successful in the cash-in?
No.
And who does he cash in on?
I doubt if it's Brock Lesnar. I tell you that. that might be. A
Like,
good
I'll be
matchup,
damned
though.
if it happens to me again.
Yeah, that might be a good matchup between them two. I mean, to see them two fight, 'cause they both brawlers, but I don't see.
For me, I would much rather see Seth Rollins go up against Lesnar than I would see Sheamus go up against Lesnar.
yeah.
Like, yeah, Sheamus is the bigger guy and the brawler guy, but to me, he is not. I don't know. I feel like Seth
He's not on the
Rollins
same
is.
caliber.
Yeah.
They're gonna test Brock against everyone though.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Going back to Sheamus though, I don't know when and where or how we're gonna pass the Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar point right now. Somehow Dean Ambrose gets the title. I don't know how, but guess what? Sheamus cashes in on him and wins.
It's possible.
Don't know what happened in between. I can't tell you.
I don't know. I give at least about. I don't know. I think about 3 months he'll cash it in. I don't see
Mm-hmm.
him waiting another being a full year. It'll be a while before somebody cash in at WrestleMania anyway. So I just think it'll probably be pretty quick cash in. I think it's would he win or lose? Will he be capitalized or?
I think he's going to lose it.
Yeah.
I think if he cashes in, he's going to lose.
I think it would be a very interesting story if he's the first person to not cash in.
He'd be the second person.
Well, aside from
Cena didn't win it either when he cashed his in on CM Punk.
No, what I mean is not even
Go the full year.
give the briefcase to the ref.
Oh.
That's what I meant. No,
okay.
Sandow unsuccessfully
that's
and
right.
Cena
Yeah.
unsuccessfully, but Kennedy got his taken away by Edge.
Didn't they used to be able to, wasn't the Money in the Bank, you could cash it in on any contract when it first started?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's basically, he's guaranteed himself a world title match whenever he wants to cash it in. It's like, so I wonder if they're going to go back to that or if they're just going to leave it at a world title. Makes you ponder.
Yeah, because that was the big
Yeah. 'Cause
glory about it. It's like you can cash in on any champion, anytime,
Right.
anywhere. And I guess, it was one of those, well, why would I go for one of the minor titles? I want the big one.
But I don't see Sheamus as a main event player. I think he's where Ziggler is. Like, I don't think Ziggler's going to win another world title.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact. So he's going to be that.
They had an opportunity.
Mid card level where he's just almost he can still work main event matches and with main event guys. He's just not going to get that title again.
They had
I
a
think that's where
chance.
Shame is.
They had a chance with Ziggler after the Survivor Series. When he won, he was the
Yes.
lone survivor.
Yes.
This was your chance to build this guy, establish this guy.
And they
No,
shit on
screw that. We're just going to make you disappear for a few weeks, make the fans forget about it, not mention it ever again, and
Right.
move
But
on with
I
our
can
lives.
picture some sort of feud between Lesnar and Sheamus. I don't really want to see it.
I can't
But they're
see
like,
it.
don't
oh
see it
no, we're
happening.
gonna get this warrior guy who's not afraid of no one versus this beast.
The Beast versus the Celtic Warrior.
I feel like they see like, oh, there's something in this. I don't, but I kind of have a feeling they're gonna shop Lesnar around, to people he's never fought before. you
Well,
know?
yeah, because he's coming back as a face now.
2 years.
So
he
you
has
got-
a 2-year contract.
Yeah, he has an opportunity. I think the rumor is that they're going to have him either face The Rock or Triple H at WrestleMania. So that part's out. I mean, they've been talking about Brock versus Rock for the past 2 or 3 years now.
I don't even want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either. I would much rather see him go up against Bryan. It doesn't even have to be for any title.
Yeah,
They
I'd
could
rather
just-
see Lesnar Bryan or Lesnar Owens. I mean,
Yeah,
That'd be
really
good,
good.
too.
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the deal with Sheamus is, I think he's going to get us some storyline, and the contract's going to be on the line, and he's going to lose it.
Yeah.
That's how I see that panning out, to be honest.
One of the things that's really making me interested in WrestleMania for this coming year is the addition of Kevin Owens, because everyone's talking about, I have all these fantasy matches I want to see, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock. I want to see this guy versus this guy. And now it's like, Oh, we get Kevin Owens tossed in this mix now. He's going to be a top player by the time WrestleMania rolls around.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you don't see Balor in there by WrestleMania.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be
Royal Rumble would be a perfect spot to bring him in.
Oh, man, yeah.
And make
Get
a
that
big
entrance.
splash
Come in,
with
yeah.
the entrance, the whole 9 yards. And everybody's like, what the hell?
Who is this guy?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised. So I think WrestleMania is going to be really cool this year just for that fact of the Owens and possibly a couple of other guys coming from NXT.
I could even see them giving the Rumble to Owens.
Oh, I could definitely see that. That would be sick.
That'd be
Sick,
crazy.
'cause I think by that time he'll be that
He'd be
star.
at that level.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good.
Knowing how Owens is and how much of an influence behind him with Triple H, yeah, and he's good by himself. He doesn't even need Triple H. But I mean, with all that, I see it.
That would be sick.
So, but you couldn't have him go up against Cena because I don't want him to get the 16th to tie with Ric Flair.
No.
But that would be a really great match.
I don't think Cena's going to be in the main event for a while. I
Yeah.
think because
This is a chance for them to try and get some of the new guys.
This is something new, and I think this first deal is with Owens, and you see how well it's working out. I think Owens will eventually, whenever the U.S. title match will be between Cena and Owens, I think Owens is going to cash it or win it, and then you're going to see Owens moving to the next level, and Cena's going to pick up the next guy that comes in and help build them up.
I think they're doing now what they should have been doing 5, maybe 6 years ago, and that is starting to establish the next generation of
they
wrestlers.
didn't have them then, though. If you really think about it, they didn't have those guys 5-6 years ago.
Right.
Now they have that crop of guys, so now you can do that with these guys that are around, and I think that's I think you're going to start seeing more and more of that now.
I mean, back when the last wave that we got was their ECW initiative. That was where you saw Kofi Kingston. That's where you saw Sheamus. That's where you saw
Punk, all those guys.
all those guys who are still mainstays for the most part. There were a lot of guys that have fallen to the wayside since then. But this is definitely a new wave. They're sort of saying, well, let's give these guys a chance. Let's put Rollins versus Ambrose for the main event. Let's see what Reigns can do. Let's see what Wyatt's got. You know, hey, now we've got all this NXT talent on the way. Let's bring them in and show the world what they can do. So it's going to be a very exciting time to be a WWE fan, and I'm glad that other companies are now having to play catch up in order to do that.
Right.
So they're having to step up their games as well. So it's sort of building even more. I know we don't really talk about TNA too much on this show, mostly because I don't watch it.
Me either.
Tyler doesn't watch it.
I don't watch. I don't have Destination America.
A lot of people don't watch it anymore. But the one topic that I did want to talk about that I found very interesting was they made an announcement this week that they have redesigned the X Division title.
Yeah.
What was wrong with the X Division title?
All they did was paint it.
They went from blue to green.
That's it.
Oh, man.
Same style. I'm thinking
It was
you
the
spend
exact
more
same
money
style.
on getting new titles or whatever you do, then you need to be turning around and
Well-
putting into your own product.
Yeah.
Let's bring back the Jeff Hardy Mardi Gras belt.
No. Do not do that.
Is Jeff Hardy even still there? I mean,
He's out with an injury. I think he broke his leg or something like that.
He's out with injury, but Willow's still that.
No, what it was, he was I read like he was going up for it wasn't a wrestling incident. He was on his bike and he came down and I think he crashed and broke his leg doing that.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a good reason for him to get back on the pills. Oh,
So yeah, I mean, that's the big TNA topic that I wanted to talk about.
I did read that today. I seen where DC Carter posted the new picture. I'm like, they got a new belt? Didn't they just get one? I look at it, I'm like,
the exact same belt.
it's the same belt. They just painted it from blue to green.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'll catch up
It's an
a
ugly
little bit
green, too.
Yeah.
on YouTube every now and then. I'll drop in and see what's going on. Then every time I tune in on YouTube, I'm like, this is different. Like, they're different. And I thought I didn't. I checked it not too long ago, and they were a different person. And okay, yeah.
Yeah, I watched it a couple weeks ago for the first time since they moved to Destination America, and I was like, I was lost. Like, I was lost before. I'm really lost now. Like, how does people follow this? Like, I don't understand. Like, and they're big TNA fans out there. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, how do you follow this? Like, there's, I could stop watching WWE, and I bet you I could follow something 6 months down the road, and pick up right where I left off and go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so this guy is now.
I don't know, man. It's a weird.
Yeah, when y'all said about who was it, Austin Aries and Rick Rude or Rick Rude.
That'd
Bobby
be pretty
Roode.
sweet, man. I would say Bobby Roode on that
Bobby
one.
Roode, yeah. Bobby Roode, like they attacked him, like they didn't see that coming, like
Yeah. Top heels or whatever. Was that?
Dirty
Dirty
Heels.
Heels.
But they were a tag team before when they were on Spike, and I was
yeah.
okay with that. And then, like I said, now they got a name with them, and
Yeah.
like I said, the episode I seen, it was the Wolves and them, and that was an unbelievable match. And I think WWE passed the buck when they let the Wolves go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, though.
What could have been?
What could have been?
So, I mean, I don't know. It's like TNA has fallen so much in the past few years. I want there to be competition. I want them to be able to succeed. It's just they're making so many poor choices.
Well, I'll give you that. Remember the time where they came to Beaumont? Their house show was freaking awesome.
It was amazing. It wasn't a packed house.
No.
There was a good crowd.
Yeah.
But, I love the fact that they do the meet and greets for free. Come up and take a picture. We'll sign your, if you buy our program, they'll sign the pictures and all that. I thought that was great. I took those pictures out of the book, put them in a frame, hung them on a wall. I thought that was amazing. I had a great time at that. I just wish that they would make smarter choices.
Here's a question, and I've talked to this with some other fans as well. If TNA was smart, and they would have got,
that's a big
they
if.
got guys like, Sami Zayn or Generico or Kevin Owens,
or Samoa Joe.
they
What
kept
could have
Samoa
been?
Joe. You get Prince Devitt. You get some of these named guys that are big on the indie levels that follow them wherever they're going to go. You'd have probably had a better ratings because people are going to be like, okay, let me see what these guys are going to do here. Do you think they'd have the same success in TNA as they do in WWE?
No. I don't think they could handle them right. No, the only time I thought they did good was back in the older days when they had some of their TNA originals and stuff, that people that were part of ROH. Even a little later when Samoa Joe was on his undefeated streak, that time period was pretty good, and I think they did right with a lot of the guys. But after that,
It's all in the writing. The matches will prove themselves. They would have had phenomenal matches because TNA lets their guys go.
Right.
They're like, if you want to go out there and tear down the house, you make sure you do it right. Go out there and burn the house down. But the writing is just so terrible. It's just the storylines are shit. I still cannot. I still can't. Go past we're going to hide in this hallway with a zoom in camera.
Instead of
and-
just interviewing somebody, they're stalking them. Like,
yeah, we're
it's a little
stalking
creepy.
you. We're stalking you, and we're picking up everything that you're saying 200 feet away.
Right.
The Mickey James and James Storm.
That's a weird
thing.
thing. That's one of the seasons. One of the seasons. One of the episodes I've seen was it's like a love triangle. I don't really understand.
But what
I don't
got
get
me
it.
is that, and I'm just a stickler for the small details like this. WWE is guilty on it on several occasions. It's when you're using a security camera to follow someone. Not only are you hearing everything that they're saying, but it's in 1080p.
Yeah,
It's like
I got security cameras at my work, and I can promise you they don't pick up that damn well.
Yeah, that they don't pick up the audio. They don't pick up anything. So
There's
It's
a
kind
lot
of
of
like when
stuff.
WWE did that. What was it, GTV or whatever? All of a sudden, it would just
That-
appear, and it was like, what the hell is GTV? And then it just disappears.
I mean,
I don't even remember that.
Orton and Barrett a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, in the
they had
elevator.
that brawl in the elevator. I'm like, that is crystal clear quality in an elevator.
black and white.
Yeah.
It's perfectly clear.
I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I'm just a stickler for that. It just I get instantly turned away from stuff like that, and the fact that TNA emphasizes on it. They're like, we're gonna use this. so
They're also
much.
guilty of bringing anyone and everyone in who they can. They
Yeah.
don't keep them for that long.
Yeah, people come and go so fast in TNA.
Oh my god!
It's like we're here
not
for a
funny.
one-off.
I think the
Bully
only-
Ray, we're here one time.
Well,
I
no,
think the only people left there that was in WWE that are still with TNA is I think it's just Kurt Angle and Anderson. I think that is the only. Everybody else.
Ethan
is gone.
Carter.
Ethan Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in development, and I can't stand that son of a bitch at all. Like I don't get the gimmick. I don't think he should still be undefeated. He is not that guy.
I don't know. I feel different. I like him better than I did like him in WWE though. I don't know. I like the more serious character, and
Mm-hmm.
that he came in with. I'm Dixie Carter's
Nephew.
Love child.
nephew. No, But is there anyone else? Oh, Mickey James.
Mhm.
Well, she's really not a
Hardy
mainstay. I
Boy.
think she was just in.
Well,
I think
because she got pregnant and had a kid, so she had to take time off.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even. I think she's just doing this one little run last I heard, and then after it's over, then she's going home to, breastfeed her kid or something.
Yeah.
Gail Kim there. Gail Kim's there.
Yeah,
Kim's
she's
still
still there.
there?
Yep, she is.
She's left and came back.
She's in a feud with Taryn, I believe.
And then also is what's her name there is Kong.
Yeah,
Still-
Awesome Kong
Cheek
is still
Team
there.
over there.
She
Yeah, but
and,
she was in TNA before she was in WWE.
No,
Yeah.
I know that. I'm
But
just
she
saying,
and
I'm
Gail
just
Kim
saying.
actually joined forces
I
to
wish-
go up against the Dollhouse. Yeah.
I wish.
What's the dollhouse? Is this like a prostitute ring thing or something they got going, like the cat house?
Well,
I don't really get it.
From what I've gathered from the one episode of TNA that I've watched in the last 6 weeks, Taryn Terrell is, I guess, the Knockouts champion.
Right.
And
Think
she's
so.
trying to do like the whole I'm blonde / Barbie kind of thing. And so
Shoot me now.
she's this sweet and innocent person, but I'll tear your heart out, kind of thing. So she's got 2 followers that play in her dollhouse with her, and I don't know.
Taryn Terrell, formerly known as Tiffany.
Yes.
Right?
Which-
Jack Swagger's girlfriend.
Which is very strange for me because when I watched her
Ex-girlfriend,
when she was in ECW or the WWE ECW version, and then I saw her appear on TNA, I was like, that is not the same person.
Yeah.
She looks so different.
Yeah.
It's a complete different person. I don't know if she had like facial reconstruction or something or what, but I'm like, there's no way that's the same person. They look so different.
She's got a kid with Drew McIntyre, though.
Oh no, it wasn't Jack Swagger. It was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that lovely assault charge when the cops were called.
I think he's there, or maybe he was there. I think maybe he just did the overseas when they were in Scotland or wherever.
He
I don't know
is
if he's
there
still
now.
there or not. I know the episode I was.
He's
nobody
there.
ever made mention of him. So
He's in a group going up against MVP's group.
oh god, MVP. You kidding me? That guy's still there too. Jeez.
Yes. So,
Boring.
yep. But I don't know. It's
TNA is a lost cause. It really is.
Yeah.
They're not going to ever compete. Just like when they tried to go, an hour before on Mondays and they were going to go live. I'm like, this has got failure written. Of course, that was when Bischoff was there, so he was trying.
Hogan
to
was
relive,
still there.
Yeah, he was trying to relive the the Monday Night War thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to do it with that talent. I don't care who you are.
no. So, but I mean, at least Ring of Honor is still there. They're now on
Yeah,
Destination
it's-
America, so they have a larger crowd than TNA does
Oh wow.
because they're on Sinclair and Destination America, whereas TNA is just on Destination America.
But it's reruns that if you get it on any Sinclair broadcast, then you've already seen it. So why are you gonna watch it again on Wednesdays?
Well, that's for those who don't have Sinclair.
Oh,
And I don't have Destination America, so I'll watch it on Sinclair.
There you
there you go.
and you're all set
And you can watch it twice, Saturdays and Sundays.
if you wanted to. Yeah, so really good. So Adam Cole coming back.
The Kingdom,
Adam
isn't
Cole,
the Kingdom,
baby.
was he part of the Kingdom or something?
I think so. Yeah, really good stuff. I need to get back into Ring of Honor. Like I said it on my DVR, and I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
When I remember about it, it's normally like Sunday at like 3:00. I'm like, oh yeah, Ring of Honor. I'll go record it.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a game or something on those channels, you might as well record everything from now until 6 in the morning because you don't know what time it's going to come on.
Once
Yeah.
I get my new cable or new package for that, I'm gonna have it set to record everything. So
Get all of the channels.
like, hey, guess what? Oh, it's this time. Guess what? I'm gonna watch all this because I'm not gonna catch it when it airs.
Mm-hmm. And you got Lucha Underground. We've already talked a little bit
Yeah.
about that. They finally announced that the Ultimate Lucha is going to be coming up, which means we're coming up towards the end of season 1.
But they are coming back for season 2.
Yeah.
I do know that for a fact.
Well, I think the question is, are they still going to be on El Rey?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I think El Rey is going to pick them up for another season.
Awesome.
They're really good. It's just highly entertaining.
That inside source tells me
And-
that.
I mean, I love everything.
WNS
it.
podcast exclusive.
There you go. Yeah, because actually I I didn't know when they filmed, or I didn't know if they had seasons or anything like that. But I was talking to a talent that works there.
A source.
I'm actually going to California, so I messaged him. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be heading out to California. When do y'all do y'all's tapings?" He's like, "Well, we're all pretty much done up until when the season ends or whatever, and then we're gonna start back up for season 2." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I know they got everything filmed for the first season, and then they're gonna start back. I think in August. To start filming for season 2.
I hope they put it on DVD. I really
That'd
do.
be nice.
Maybe they'll get on Netflix. I mean, there's a lot of things on Netflix.
That'd be good too.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Who knows?
I'd buy it on DVD or Blu-ray.
Oh, definitely.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
Yeah,
good stuff.
it's pretty cool. Pretty cool vibe they got there. Like I said, I know
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier, but yeah.
We've discussed this on the podcast a couple times, and I want to get your thoughts. Do you think Lucha should ever tour?
I
Because-
don't think it would have to be in select cities, I think, for them to really draw. And
See, our thought process on it is that the temple is a character of it, all of itself.
right, and if you take something out of the temple, then it kind of loses its
Yeah, if you're like, oh, we're at this arena now,
right.
Hey, this little office I'm in.
I don't think they should like tape the shows anywhere but the temple. But
Mm-hmm.
if they want to do house shows,
Oh yeah,
I think that I think that would be a pretty cool deal. And like I said, I think it had to be in select cities because it's got the Lucha name. So you would
you'd
have to,
definitely have to do at least the West Coast.
yeah, you have to do California. Probably I think it would do pretty good in Mexico.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it would.
They'd
draw
get a lot more
really good.
talent.
Yeah, I think it would really draw over there, and they got a good working relationship with I think AAA maybe over there. So I can see it in the future that it picking up and maybe doing a few house shows. I wouldn't film the shows
Yeah.
anywhere but where they're filming them now, just because, like you said, the temple is part of the show and it's part of the whole atmosphere of
Yeah. That's one of
Lucha
the
Underground.
That's one of the things I loved about this last week's episode of Lucha is what was it, Cuerdo?
Yeah.
He was
Dario Cuervo.
That's it. I can never remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Dario Cuervo was talking to Johnny Mundo in his office, and he was like, you and I, we've had our differences in the past. It's always been about business. It's nothing personal. Yeah, I'm sure you're a great guy, but you showed me something last week when you threw Alberto Patron through my window,
yeah.
and it shows the window. It's just got a big board up on
it. Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, I love that. It's they focus on the story of what's going on. There's continuity. I love it. So it's just, it's the little things, and like I said, it can be a little bit cheesy at times, but it all works.
I like how they have matter of fact, I seen the episode where he got thrown through, and then the next week was the trios ladder match, and they got that balcony. And
Yeah.
I can't remember what the guy's name is. It's
Angelico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He come running.
Did the
I'm
drop
all
kick.
like, holy Jesus, dude! Looked like he was doing like 80 miles an hour off the top of
He
this
did
thing.
two
and
different
just-
ones. One where he did a crossbody, another one where he did a drop kick.
But speaking
Yeah.
of that, when they got through the window, that they took a guy and they threw him up against the board, and the board falls off.
Yeah.
And there's Dario standing like,
That's-
he's on the phone like,
he's like,
I'm gonna have to call you back.
Dude, that dude's facial expressions with anything
Yeah,
is
it's
just
great.
great. I mean, well,
he sells it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But that's one of the small details that I'm talking about that I absolutely love, is that they had that moment where the board falls off. That might have been planned. It might have just happened, but they had him in there in the office.
Right. He was not there.
Yeah. So it's
We're
just
gonna
like,
have you in there the whole show, so just in case if something happens, be prepared.
and the fact that he'll come out every once in a while. Oh, by the way,
Yeah, he just walks out of his.
ring the bell.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It just adds to it. I love it. So, yeah, Miz defeats Big Show via count out.
Yeah, this show is really. We're not on a regular.
We're just
schedule.
shooting the
We're
shit
just
this
shooting
week.
shit. So
I'm digging it.
We're still talking wrestling, so it's all
wrestling.
good.
It's all
Yeah.
good. It doesn't matter.
Like Roman Reigns going up against Bray Wyatt. That's going to be happening pretty soon. I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
am all about this Bray Wyatt. Like, I want to hire Bray Wyatt for Halloween to sit on my porch and rock in a chair, and I want kids to come knock on my door, and he's tell them to run and watch these kids scream and don't even get no candy. Like, that is worth the price of admission right there.
They've been trying to feed you candy, man. Speaking of the Candyman,
I've always liked Bray Wyatt. I just don't like the direction and everything else.
But see, that's the thing. Like, it used to kind of upset me because poor Bray could never win a match on a pay-per-view. But it's like, does he really need to win? Because his promos really outdo anything else that he does. I mean, he's got that he's like into that character.
He could talk, but a lot of things seem like he just talks in circles with the
like this one on Raw I thought was great when he held up the picture and I don't know if that's Roman Reigns' kid or not, but somebody's kid and Roman Reigns, and he started singing "I'm a teapot." I'm like, oh, this shit is good. Like this shit is great.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, like this is getting to be good. I can't wait to see it. Hope this really does good in 5 weeks with this storyline here. Yeah,
I spaced out during that whole situation. I was like, oh no, here's Roman. Oh no, and here comes Bray talking.
I hate Roman. I'm not into Roman. I cannot back him at anything. Like, I'm so glad they didn't put him over at Mania. I'm so glad he lost the Money in the Bank. I just can't get into him.
I could. Whenever he was part of the Shield, I was like, I can see him
when he was
being
the muscle. Yeah, I can see that because you had two other guys that can outwork him. So that he just had
and
a
out-talk him
and out-talk him. Now this dude's talking. He's still, and it's like, ugh, God.
Well, and you can also have to blame the writers for that.
Right.
Because it's like, come on now, suffering succotash? Really?
Yeah.
Who says that anymore?
Exactly.
Except for Sylvester the Cat.
That?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just if they developed him the right way from the time that the Shield split, I would have been more into it.
Right.
And it goes even further back to the debate that we had that they shouldn't have brought Daniel Bryan back until after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Because everyone was expecting him to win.
And when it didn't happen.
And when it didn't happen, the fans were like, fuck whoever wins.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns wins, fuck you. We're
that's
done.
what happened. I mean, that's exactly what happened. And I think it was when I was watching on the network, the little 10 or 15 minute little Daniel Bryan about his upcoming DVD.
Mm-hmm.
He even said, like, I knew I wasn't going to be in the Rumble, and I knew but they didn't have no choice because the people were shitting on whoever was going to win. It didn't matter who was going to win.
Yep.
But when Rey Mysterio came out number 30 and they booed him, now I was like, holy shit, the crowd
you knew
just turned.
something was bad there. And then just like even when you got The Rock out there trying to give you the rub to get that pop,
And the fans
you're
aren't
still
having
getting
it.
shit on.
Even The Rock looked like, hold on,
He's
are
like,
they
what
booing?
the fuck is going on here?
What is this noise I haven't heard in so long?
Yeah.
That's
He's like, I'm not a heel right now. Why are they booing?
Yeah.
What's that picture they took when he's holding Roman's hand up and he's like this? They called
He's just
that moment.
questioning.
He's like looking at him like, what the hell? My cousin just won.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help him. And your motherfuckers are booing him. I'm The Rock. You're supposed to cheer.
Yeah, that just tells you, like, it's, people are not going to buy into Roman. I mean, they buy into it because they don't have a choice now because Daniel Bryan's not in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But Daniel Bryan comes back, if he comes back and he gets back, I don't care who it is, he's going to pick up where he left off.
Yeah.
And people are going to shit on whoever it is if he's not in that main event spot.
Yep. It's just, I don't know. I mean,
He's trying to find a picture now of it.
Yeah.
But there it is.
He's just questioning. He's like, what is going on here?
Like, huh?
So,
You won.
But I'll tell you what really got me with the Bray thing is the WrestleMania when he called out The Undertaker. To me, he made that match without Taker having to be there.
yeah.
Taker never – he made that, the special effects or whatever, but in his voices and stuff, but he basically sold that match without having to actually have the Undertaker there present.
Mm-hmm.
Because Undertaker showed up at WrestleMania. That was the only time you seen him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's his voice he had.
You heard his voice, and you heard him say, on the screen and the lightning.
Dead
on the
man
chair.
is risen.
But to me, if you got somebody like Bray that could sell people, like could sell that match and then have that anticipation, like I really thought, going into that, like, okay, he's he wants to be the new face of Fear. I would be a bit surprised if Bray beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was expecting, like, what purpose does it have for Undertaker to win when he just got beat? Like, there's no purpose for it anymore. So I could actually see Bray beating Taker at Mania and being what he said, the new face of Fear. But when he came out at the pay-per-view in that like butcher deal, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted him to win, but like even with the Mania stuff, I was like, he's gonna lose because he's been losing. That's all he does is lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that does bug me. But
that's what bugs me about it, is that some of his promos, it's sort of like, okay, it sounded cool, but what did he really say? And then, you go and try and deliver, and you don't get the job done. So it's like, it sounds more like you're all talk than anything else. So that makes it, it hurts him. He needs to get more wins. He needs to be the face of fear. When people see him, they're like, "Oh shit, I need to."
I don't think he needs a title to do it. Like I don't think.
No, he doesn't need a title.
He needs a title. If he could keep going with the way he's going, that is to me is more than him winning that title. Because the title, what good does that do for him? If he wins it and he loses it, then everything he said up to that don't mean shit. So it's like, he says, me, if I'd have been in the Money in the Bank, that'd have been my destiny to the galaxy or whatever. But he wasn't in it, so he still has something that he could go after and try to fight for. And I think that's what's cool about Bray, and I like the gimmick.
But to me, that hurts him more because he's not going to be in the title picture, because even if he were to even say, I'm coming for the title, or just even mentioning a championship, it would sound so out of character for him, because rarely does he even say the title of a pay-per-view that he's got a match coming up.
Right.
And when he does, it sounds so out of place. So for him to come in and say, John Cena or whoever, Seth Rollins, your time has come for me to take what you value most. He could say something like that, but for him to say, I want the title, I want the championship, I want to be champion, it doesn't work for me. He would have to come up with some different way of saying that. But I don't know. And Roman Reigns is not going to be able to mic up with him.
No.
The bad part is though too, and like I don't know. I assume that they're still high on Roman, or they want him to.
Yeah.
To win. I think he's going to beat Bray. I don't want him to. But
Yeah,
I think he's going to beat Bray.
think he's going to beat him, unless they have something that leads, before that, But I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Roman went over in that match, to be honest. But
yeah.
But stranger things have happened, so who knows?
I think Roman, and this is early to make any kind of bold predictions or anything like that. I can see Roman getting the win because they still want to raise him up.
Right.
However, since we've spent like the last hour talking about all this new talent that's going to be coming up, honestly, I think Roman might get lost in the wayside.
He probably will.
I think some of the newer talent's going to come up and outshine him, and
I can see him part of some type of tag team with somebody.
Yeah, he might fall back into the tag team division or something. Maybe him and Ambrose tag team it up. But I can see him right now. I see him falling off to the wayside. Going to be stuck in that mid-card limbo where it's insanely tough to get out. And
or at least if they bring the Shield back, he'll have something then. But
they did such a poor job of establishing him from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. They could have done such a better job to make him seem like a viable threat. He did an amazing job at WrestleMania. The match was awesome. But after that, he disappeared. Leading up to that, they didn't do enough. So
I didn't think the match of Mania with Roman and Lesnar was that great. I mean,
really?
I mean, they built this guy up to be like, this big dog, and then he basically got his ass handed to him by Lesnar. I mean, how many suplexes did they get up to? Like 20 something. I mean, he had that big comeback, and then here comes Rollins.
Well, the story for that was that Roman Reigns was that tough guy, that he was resilient. He kept getting back up. You couldn't put him down.
So, I was about to say, anyone lately, when Lesnar first came back, he's had those matches with everyone. He just beats the heck out of them.
I love that. Like,
we love it. We love it.
I'm glad. I wish they'd have kept the strap on Lesnar, and for the simple fact of, people bitch because Lesnar's not on TV every month. Who cares? You're champ. How many? It's a champion. Like he don't have to fight. Like he's the champion. You should be chasing after him. And when you do get it, it's a special attraction deal.
Yeah, Heyman said it best. Like, what if you had Christmas every day for 365 a year? Like you lose the essence of Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
I missed this one. Oh, that's okay. There's more.
More.
I get it next week. Yeah, but I think they should have. And I hope Lesnar gets it back, and I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
and he goes off for the wayside for until they want to bring him back and give him something meaningful and have somebody ready for him. I think that's great, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but the WrestleMania match, they gave Roman like the same amount of suplexes that Cena received. They gave him where Undertaker received 3 F5s and got pinned. Roman received 4 and still was able to keep fighting. So it was definitely the story being told was much better than the hype bringing up to it.
Yeah, but why would it take Roman 4 F5s when it only took 3 for the Undertaker?
Because he's that resilient
dead
guy.
Man, you can't get rid of. You can't kill that guy. Supposedly,
So what does that?
You can't kill him, right?
So what does that say about Roman Reigns?
So I think it was a little too much, really.
It was a lot, but I felt they did it a very strong way, and the ending with Rollins made the most sense for me as far as how they were going to get the belt off of Lesnar.
Yeah,
because he had a chance.
Which I was hoping, he was going to come down, cash it in, but I was thinking, okay, he's going to try to do something. Lesnar's going to catch him at 5, 1, 2, 3. Boom, there's Lesnar with the title again. And everybody's like, oh.
Yeah, or Reigns somehow overpowers him, gets the title. Rollins comes in while Reigns is weak and get the title. The way that they orchestrated it to have it happen during the match was, I felt, the perfect way.
I thought it was cool because it was something different. You haven't seen it in a while, so I thought that was kind of cool. So I was okay with it.
Yeah.
And Rollins wasn't going to pin Lesnar anyway.
Yeah.
So you had to do, okay, kid, you're gonna, Rollins is gonna come out, hit you with the curb stomp, 1, 2, 3, it's over.
Mm-hmm. So going back into Raw, the Bella Twins had a 2-on-1 handicap match against Paige, which, logic, whatever. I don't get it. Bella Twins win.
Okay, here's my thing. Now, here's a perfect opportunity since none of the divas, the other divas want to help Paige because she's she hasn't been the best ally or whatever she said. Okay, here's the best time to bring in somebody new from NXT.
Yes,
right now. You bring in Charlotte, let her come in, and everybody's like, "Whoa!" And she don't, she could be like, "Yeah, I've been hearing what you're saying, but I'm only here for one thing and one thing only, and that's for that title."
Yeah.
That was
a prime time.
That is the perfect time for that to happen. Since nobody wants to back her, you have somebody from NXT be like, "I've been hearing what you've been saying every week on Raw against these Bellas, and I'm here to stand up and to fight the fight type deal. But in the meantime, I still got my eye on the prize type deal."
Yeah. That would have been the perfect time for them to debut someone new.
Yep.
Didn't do it. Bellas get the win, and they're like, "Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, you lost. We're bitches."
What I really want to see is somebody, I don't care who it is, come in, throw that fucking belt on the ground, and declare
Kevin Owens?
We're not, this isn't divas. This is women. This is women wrestling.
Right.
We're standing up for women wrestling.
Bring
and
back
I'm the
the
new
old
women.
strap
I'm
back.
declaring myself the women's champion.
So you bring in Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch.
Don't say it.
Bailey.
Bailey.
No.
And
No.
who was the other one? There's one other. Emma.
Emma, like I said, she has been repackaged.
She's
in
an
NXT.
she's an extra behind this.
She's been repackaged in NXT, and I'm digging it.
Yeah.
If they can just transfer that, if they can get rid of the Bellas, Summer Rae, Layla,
Rosa.
Eva Marie. Even though I hate that because I really dig Eva Marie, just by bugs.
Keep Naomi and
you can
Tamina.
find
Naomi.
You can find hotter ladies with red hair.
Tamina, and keep Natalya, keep Paige, and you bring all these girls in from
Alicia
NXT.
Fox.
That is a women's division.
Yeah.
Not that bullshit that you've been trying to pawn people as a women's division.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's not a women's division. It's the divas.
Whatever. Get rid of the divas. Get rid of them. Get rid of that
Girl,
stupid
bye.
belt. Get a WWE World's Women's Championship belt, and
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
one person. Cameron, get her ass out of there. That's one person we forgot. I hate Cameron.
Well, she ain't been on TV in so long. I done forgot about her.
Yeah, that's true.
Count it, ref.
The only NXT or not NXT tough enough person from the last season that's in WWE is Cameron.
Oh yeah, that's true.
First one let go, only one on the roster.
Imagine that.
Yep.
Girl, bye.
Gotta love that logic. So, yeah. I mean, just bring all of the ladies up at once and just be like, we are here to fuck your world up. Like, it is over. Free ride is done.
Freaking 4 horse
Nexus
That
style.
would be pretty cool. Just not Bailey.
Totally
Bailey don't
banned.
fit that. She doesn't fit
Well,
that.
if she does something different than the goofy.
Well, they're not going to do that. They're
Instead
gonna
of
keep that
putting her
stupid
hands up, she does that. She flips them
slap
off.
bracelets that have been out since I remember when I was like
7th grade.
7.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Who's the 4th one in the
I don't think
horsewomen?
I would put. No, I would put somebody like Natalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Get
the
the
veteran
veteran.
of the group, and I would put her in there. I mean,
Have them come in and just wreck shop.
Have them come in and just.
What are your thoughts
kill it.
on Dana Brooke?
Is that the fitness girl?
Yeah, the new power.
I've seen her in one match.
Insanely green at the moment.
Yes, she is very green. I've seen her in one match. It was her and Emma versus I forgot who, and I was
Bailey and Charlotte. Bailey and Charlotte.
I could see some potential, and then I didn't see her, and I'm like, and then of course they're hyper up at the Arnold Classic, and she's doing what they're what WWE wanted. She's got I think she's got a great body.
Too much makeup for my liking.
she does put a lot of makeup. I do
it comes
like.
from that-
She's trying to like
I'm
match
curious
up.
to see how it's gonna go. Once is she gonna do both, or is she gonna like drop one and do be a wrestler? Like,
Yeah.
okay, are you gonna be a wrestler? Or are you gonna be?
Are you gonna commit or what?
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna go. There's some girls there that I think have potential.
Yeah.
Like and I don't get the blue pants gimmick. I don't.
She's just fun. That's all it is.
I mean, when that song came on, then people freaking went batshit crazy, and I'm like, what the hell are you? I'm like, what is the deal here, But she worked Emma. That wasn't bad. They got some good girls down there that have potential.
What I love about Blue Pants is that even the commentators are like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
She's over as hell with the crowd. She never wins, and yet the crowd is going nuts for her.
And it's like, blue pants, like, really? Like, what if she don't want to wear blue that day? I mean, fuck.
She's got the yellow stripe. It's okay. She makes
She
up
wants to
for
wear
it.
red pants with a fucking yellow and blue stripe. Is she red pants?
That's like the musical artist Pink. Her hair isn't pink anymore. People still
Oh,
call her
that's true.
Pink.
But
So.
I don't. Like I said, it was the first time I seen her, so I didn't really get it. I think Bliss has got a good. She's got some time there, and I think she'll be good.
I think Big Cass sings Blue Pants' entrance theme.
I think he probably does. I mean, anybody can fucking sing it. Yeah, I was like watching. I'm like,
Hey, get out there.
I heard this music. I'm like,
Take this microphone and sing the Price is Right theme. How are they getting away with that? That's what I want to know.
I guess because they got it dubbed down, and it's not quite that upbeat that you hear on The Price is Right.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like one person.
Blue
Blue
Pants, Blue Pants.
I mean, they went batshit crazy for her. I'm like, I'm like,
Even
okay.
Mick Foley's a fan of her.
Yeah,
He's all over posting that. He's like,
So,
Blue Pants, love it.
yeah. I know she was a worker, on the independent. So I mean, I guess hey, whatever works. I think you could have. They gave everybody else different gimmicks. I don't know what the hell happened to you.
But going back into Raw, this is probably the longest it's ever taken us to get through a single Raw. But
Sorry, guys.
Nah, I'm digging it. Kevin, the only thing I wanted to talk about. There you go.
There it is.
It sounds like Cass.
Oh, so sad. But yeah, so ridiculous. But the one thing I did want to talk about was Kevin Owens giving a power bomb to Machine Gun Kelly. That was
Hopefully that just killed any more performances coming out. Like I don't like. I
Like,
hate
I don't
when
wanna
they
do
do that. It'd be different if it was like I don't know Fozzy and there's Jericho or something I could see, but some kid that weighs like a $1.5 soaking wet and nobody fucking knows who Machine Gun Kelly is.
the only reason he was there is because that's his home city, and
Who cares?
But the best part was him falling back and tripping.
Oh, right.
That was the best part.
Like,
I
oh,
was like,
God,
get your ass over here. I got a power bomb you.
What I thought was funny too was like when he came out and you see he finishes his performance and then next thing you know like Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere like a ninja.
Oh,
and
hey.
he's just slow clapping and then he's like, yeah man, and he just like as he's clapping he's like, I'm not. Oh, you want me to show you?
I am not touching your hand.
Yeah, and he just like stopped and he just I thought it was great. I think he should have done the cradle pile driver like he used to do back in ROH days, which he does a version and he kind of changes it up now, but. Like, just kill the kid. Like, who cares?
Pile drivers are banned in WWE, right?
And I think so.
The King.
Yeah.
He was the only person who did do
yeah.
it before his heart attack.
Punk did it a few years ago,
Yeah.
but that was about it. But one of the things that I noticed, obviously they didn't want him to get hurt. They had him
Right, they
land
had
on the
boxes
padding or
like
whatever.
that, yeah.
In order to try and hide it as much as they could, at least the impact, I noticed that the far camera that was ringside zoomed in only on Owens, and
Right.
the one that was on stage, the steady cam, they just stood behind Owens while he threw him down.
Right.
And I thought that was at least a nice touch, and I really liked the visual of him, Owens throwing him down.
His legs are dangling a little bit, like.
Yeah, but what I loved the most was that you see him go down, and it's just Owens standing there, arms by his side, and you just see the crowd.
Right.
To me, I was like, that is an awesome visual because you never get the. I mean, for Mark Henry, when they do Mark Henry's entrance where they stand behind him, I'm like, that's a cool visual because you get to see what he's
Right.
seeing. But that was just a little bit better for me. Like I would love to get like a screenshot of that, and I'd put that on a poster or something. I thought that was awesome.
I thought you were gonna say, the best part was when he actually tripped and fell behind because
That part was cool.
He
I
would
have
do his
watched
part
that
and
a
he-
number of
Yeah,
times
we
now.
did. We
Well, what
watched
I
a
thought
lot.
was dumb too was after he pounded, then all of a sudden his whole entourage or whatever,
Yeah,
flipped
get
out.
out here.
And then it's like, where's all the officials? Like, when you see as soon as the kick happened, wouldn't the officials be out there like when?
Wait, no!
Yeah,
What are
like,
you doing?
Like when Bubba Ray powerbombed May
Yeah,
from the
right.
stage through the table, like they were all out there trying to stop it. Oh no, they're just gonna let Kevin
Yeah.
Owens beat the shit out of this some punk ass kid that just performed.
Well, his crew was behind him on stage. If you
I mean,
want
hell, even when Mike Tyson was there, his whole crew was like at
his
his
whole
back.
entourage,
You know, at least make it seem a little bit more legit.
his crew has nothing on Kevin Owens. They can't beat him.
I thought it was funny, like after, like and he did. I guess he's not a real wrestler, but he did like a bad job of selling like the power bomb, But he kind of got
Yeah.
lit up, and it's like, we gotta take him to the hospital. And you hear one of the refs like, well, no, we gotta take him to the back and stabilize his neck and make sure everything right. I just picked him up. You hear like some kind of conversation about that. It's like, we gotta go to the hospital.
It's like at least they're sticking with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fun to see it. I had the concert part of it completely on mute. But
I had a DVR, so I just fast forward
Oh,
through it.
you
and
lucky
then,
man.
And then I seen Kevin Owens, so I had to like back it up a little bit, then hit play, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
shut this kid up, but
But after that, the main event overall, Primetime Players teaming up with Neville to go up against the New Day. It was good to see at least Kofi Kingston was sporting some injury. I know Ambrose sold the leg a little bit whenever he came out to beat down Rollins. One of the
He was
things
walking perfectly when he came out.
when
Then
he first
started
when he
limping.
first came out and his music hit, he comes out on the stage walking around, yeah, come on, yeah, and
then
then
he lamped.
then he
Thought about
goes
it.
down the ramp. It's like, oh yeah, oh, ow, oh man, oh god, it hurts so much. But at least Kofi also was showing the tape around his ribs, so showing the worst for wear from the ladder match. Nothing really to take away from the matchup. It was a fine finish or whatever. The Red Arrow is always cool to watch.
Oh yeah.
Beating the New Day, good stuff. And then Brock Lesnar was named the opponent for Seth Rollins.
I think they could have done that different.
Yeah,
I was really here's my thing on the Lesnar. Like, I had two scenarios. Like, one, how cool would it have been for like, something would have happened during the ladder match where next you know, music hit, here he comes. Everybody's like, what the hell? And he just starts killing people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He ascends the ladder, gets the damn briefcase, and it's like, okay, who's going to take this from this guy?
Yeah.
Now he goes on a Raw.
I thought at first they were going to do that with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would they do if he just climbed that ladder and
Yeah.
took the briefcase? Like
And
how
then
would
I
they
was
run
like,
with that?
What if he came out in the main and took the belt? Like, wouldn't he technically be the champion? I mean, he did grab the belt,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think because the way they made it, he's suspended indefinitely, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we can't find nobody else for Rollins to do. So
We're starting to rethink how we're invested in you.
And JBL said something like, it could be somebody we don't even know. Like, kind of
Yeah,
like.
well, that's the part of him selling that's the good thing about JBL is selling something like that. But everybody knew it was going to be Lesnar. I mean,
Yeah.
it was But it was good to see Lesnar. I think he's going to be great. I like the new shirt, Suplex City, and I hope he keep every town he goes to has.
I've seen that Cleveland City.
Cleveland City,
that was pretty cool.
And then on the back, it's got the
Jimmy Johns and
it's got the Jimmy Johns with the caution, and somebody's getting suplexed. That's just taking over right there, man.
Suplex City
F5.
World Tour.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. One of the ways I thought they could have introduced him is, Triple H was delivering that cool speech about, the cold, you turn into dust, you turn into a diamond, and pressure and all that. Instead of waiting for the music to hit, if Paul Heyman would have just been standing in the back, ladies and gentlemen.
I think they could have come out there and been like, we're going to name somebody, and of course it's not going to be Kane or it's not going to be J&J, which everybody knew that. But before they had said, I think they should have still maybe kept the fans on edge. Maybe it could be Dean, could it be Roman? Is it really, or is it going to be who could it be? And then all of a sudden you hear the music, you have Heyman come out and be like, well, he never got his rematch, and we're going to take it right now. So we're naming ourselves his next opponent.
Who wants to stop us?
Who's going to stop us now?
Nobody.
You try to suspend me, and I'm gonna come and do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that would have been a little bit more
poetic.
I think it'd have been a little better than here's your next opponent, and then you hear the music.
Yeah. So, or they could have even done they could have done a tease. They could have said, he could have done his whole speech. Dean Ambrose's music hits,
right?
Like
everybody thinks it's him, and it's not. And then
that would have been a nice little touch as well.
There's several ways they could have done it.
He came out there and like, "What are you doing here, Dean?"
Yeah, you're not the opponent.
Yeah.
And then you hear,
and then you throw in Heath Slater or some bullshit like that.
I'm not in it again.
Yeah.
They could have done it so many different ways, and it's like
they do it so bland.
It was like and it seems like every time Lesnar comes out with whoever it is, except for that one time with Cena when he just beat the shit out of him. But it's like every time he comes out, it's like he gets in the ring and nothing happens. Like you thought something was going to happen with Rollins because you could tell he was like getting all, and then he just tucked his tail between his legs and he just walked on about his business.
Well, they told the story of Rollins going, "Oh shit," like
right.
It really like he about to piss himself. Like he's like.
He couldn't look Lesnar in the eye. He was looking down like a dog with his tail between his legs.
But he could have shown something with the whole speech that he just got. Like, he could have looked like that and then turn and then try to do something and have Lesnar catch him in it, and then he weasels himself out of it and he runs up the ramp. Something.
Or even have him bow up a little bit.
Right.
And then Lesnar takes that one step forward and he's like, "Oh shit, he's calling me out on this. I'm out of here. See you guys later."
Well, isn't it to that because Brock is supposed to be a face?
Yeah, he's a face now.
Well, that happened as soon as all the suplexes. So I mean that pretty much that when he started doing all that pretty much just made him.
Once he said Suplex City, that was it.
Suplex City, bitch.
Welcome to Suplex City, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there is the next shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Marketing. Good stuff.
Marketing at its finest.
Yep. So really cool stuff. We don't have any Q&A. We've pretty much covered all the hot topics and all the other stuff. It's been a really fun show. I enjoyed this one.
I appreciate you letting me be a part of it.
Yeah. Thanks, Curtis. Thanks, Ryan, for stepping in. We
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
Always.
I don't know if Doug's going to be back next week or when. So
I don't know.
maybe we'll have a.
I'll be here next week, maybe, guys.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Fill in for Doug.
Yeah. So there we go. So thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to check out our show on sportsradiobeaumont.com, Sports Radio 1450, 1510, KIKR, all the good stuff. You can check us out. Make sure you submit questions to us on our YouTube page, WNS Video, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're also on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
And you can also find us on Twitter at WNS Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at WNS_Daniel. You can find Tyler at Tyler_A-Bear.
I don't even know the password to get in my Twitter.
Well, you need to get it. Ryan is at
King Scorpio 11.
11, not 9/11, but
9/11,
yeah, there you go. Curtis, you got anything to plug? Hurricane Pro?
Hurricane Pro, June 27th.
Any Twitters, Twitters?
I do have a Twitter. Barely get on. It's at Curtis the Beard.
The Beard.
Like I said, follow me on Twitter. Every once in a while, I kind of throw a tweet out there, but other than that, I don't get on Twitter.
All right, good stuff. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Hope to check you all next week. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
Tyler Aber.
This is Ryan.
This is Curtis.
And we'll check you all next week.